Alrighty, everybody. Oh, there's Andrew. Andrew, you're here. Right as we start. He made it. How's it going, everybody? We are the hosts of the Trade Deadline Show. You ready, Andrew? We're live, man. Sorry, Andrew didn't get here until the very, very last second, but he's here. Oh, my mic's muted. My bad, Andrew.
Yeah. I was looking at things in my audio.
I didn't do that. No, we're good. We're good now. Sorry, we had to work out the little technical kinks, but I think we're all good now. We all good, everybody? How's everybody doing? How's everybody feeling about the trade deadline?
Oh man,
a lot of things to cover today, so we should just jump into it, right?
Yeah, we should.
All right, so the first thing that I want to cover today is Jose Berrios. Yeah?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Jose Berrios. He went to the Blue Jays, if any of you don't know already. That's a big move for the Blue Jays, and from what I saw, they gave away a lot.
Yeah, this is I just saw that trade right before we were hopping on.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that they gave the number 5 overall pick from last summer, right?
I think so. I think so. Andrew, your mic's a little quiet, by the way. Just saying.
Oh, no. Getting all adjusted here.
I know. Andrew just came from work, so bear with us here.
I know.
We got a lot of time. We got a lot of time to go over a lot of stuff. I got to make sure I'm on the Twitter. I got to make sure I'm up to date. It's going to be a long one. Got it? You good?
Yep.
All right.
All right, does that sound better?
That sounds way better. All right, so yeah, Jose Berrios, they gave up a lot of guys for him, and I read a tweet by Jeff Fletcher saying that the Angels would have had to give up Brandon Marsh or Detmers to get him.
Yeah, that's a lot, but I mean, Barrios is an established major league pitcher who has been at the top of the Twins rotation for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And so to get someone that's going to be guaranteed to put up value like that, you're going to have to give up a top prospect.
Yeah, just a big trade for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays needed it really badly.
Yeah, they definitely did. What do you think would have happened if the Angels got him? Do you think that would have been the move?
You know, with how good they're developing their pitchers right now, I don't think it would have been the move because they would have given up way too much.
Yeah, and you know, the Angels are one of those teams that are really top heavy when you have a lot of your value coming from 2 or 3 positions. So it's kind of one of those things where if you can keep those guys healthy and producing at that level, then you need to figure out a way to get another 20 guys that are producing at least like average value.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to hop to a couple comments right now. Dugout Talk says, should the Angels trade Mike Trout? My last post is getting all the fans fired up. I mean, I'm almost with you at this point. The Angels are disappointing, to say the least. Dugout Talk also says, I just wanted to interact and is slowly pissing people off. Lol. Yeah.
What would a Mike Trout trade look like?
What would a Mike Trout trade look like? That is a good question. Because, like, he is the most valuable player in baseball. I don't think any trade could match up to Mike Trout's value.
So, I guess let's talk about that. Is he still the most valuable player in baseball with his contract and injury history now?
I don't think the injury history would play into it that much.
I mean, how many games has he missed?
He's missed like 70 this year now.
He hasn't played a full season since 2016.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there've been a little bit more unlucky injuries because back in like 2017, he hurt his thumb sliding into second. This year, he like popped a hamstring by like just accelerating to go to third. It didn't even look like he was running that hard.
Yeah, and it's not like I'm not like trying to say that Mike Trout is washed up or anything like that. I'm just saying that, you know, to play devil's advocate here, because I mean, as an Angels fan, you have to like ask yourself: are you a fan of like Mike Trout or are you a fan of the franchise? At some point.
Yeah, That's a question all Angels fans are asking themselves right about now. All right, I'm going to hop back into some comments. Matt Bedingo checks in, and he says, as an Angels fan, I feel terrible. As a baseball fan, I'm excited. I'm right there with you. The Angels have not made any moves so far, and we're just all waiting on those as I refresh my Twitter. But as a baseball fan, the league got a big old shakeup.
Yeah, 100%. I still can't believe that Max Scherzer, Trey Turner deal.
Yeah, if you guys don't know already, Max Scherzer and Trey Turner are now on the Dodgers. So that's just wonderful news.
Yeah, that's the first team in history to have 4 MVPs and 4 Cy Youngs.
They're just a fantasy team at this point.
Yeah. Oh man, this is like what people said the Yankees were going to be in the early 2000s.
Fernando checks in. He says, Rysel on the move, ? I do think so. If the Angels aren't going to pick up anybody, they might as well sell and get somebody out of them.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, man, what do you think? What kind of trade market do you think there even is for relievers right now? They're not really giving up much.
Huge. There's got to be a huge trade market, right?
I mean, yeah, there's definitely a trade market for people wanting relievers, but the reliever returns haven't been much at all. Like, look at Brad Hand going to Toronto, or even the Daniel Hudson trade last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years ago, a good reliever could have gotten you maybe a team's like first and second prospect, but now you're getting number 9.
Yeah, the trade value is all over the place for relievers right now. And if you guys are looking on our YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, we have a whole layout of a trade tracker with every player that has been traded so far, and yeah, it tells them what team they're on now. So if you want to check into that, I put a lot of work into that. All right, so we also have a couple more comments. King Ray says, I hope I said that right, King J. Ray said, Rysel on the move only if we get pitching in return. Now that's an interesting thought. What kind of pitching in return would you think that they would have to get?
What kind of pitching? I mean, I can't think of any. He's a rental right now, right? Like he's a free agent.
Yes.
At the end of the year.
Yeah.
So I just look at like the types of returns that like Daniel Hudson got last night. I just couldn't imagine getting. You'd probably get like one of those like power arms that are single A still.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's just a lottery ticket. You're hoping that someone would turn into a pitcher as good as him.
Yeah, it's really hard to get a feel for what the trade market's going to be like this year because of how different the what is it called? The returns for rentals have been. Because it's just been all over the board.
Yeah, definitely sometime in the last year, teams started valuing their prospects a lot more. Now you're looking at teams and, a number 9 and a number 7 prospect can get you a quality starting Major League Baseball player. Before that wasn't the case. It would take like 3 or 4 of those guys.
Yeah. I just got a tweet from Ken Rosenthal saying, source confirms Brewers working to acquire left-handed pitcher Daniel Norris from the Tigers.
Oh, that's interesting. I wonder if he's going to bring his van that he lives at the river with.
He still lives in a van?
I don't know. I hope so. Just keep the legend going.
Another trade we got to talk about this morning involves the Braves. The Braves this morning got Adam Duvall from the Marlins and Eddie Rosario from the Twins.
That's interesting. They had Adam Duvall last year, right?
They did. And so they just wanted him back, basically.
Yeah. I feel like Eddie Rosario and Adam Duvall are like the same player.
I do too. They've got very similar makeup.
Yeah, they're those prototypical bad defensive outfielders with a lot of power and can't get on base.
Yeah. Oh, jeez, I gotta adjust my camera. My bad. There we go. Yeah. The Marlins are making money moves. They really are.
I know. Oh man, yeah. That entire organization, they started off on such a wrong foot when Jeter took over and they got rid of Giancarlo Stanton. Mm-hmm. I mean, in hindsight, that was definitely the right move. That guy's been injured ever since that trade, and now we're starting to see that entire vision come to fruition for Marlins fans. Mm-hmm. They have an amazing pitching staff. They have more pitchers coming in. You're starting to see young talent come up and just kind of take over. I mean, you look at the run differential. This is the team that could be in the wild card race right now.
Yeah. Yeah, the Marlins are going to be very good in the next few years.
Yep. Then they're gonna win that World Series and then break down the roster again.
Oh God, I hope not. I hope they're good for the foreseeable future.
That's baseball law. That's how it works.
I'm gonna hop back into some comments. Let me find my spot. Andrizzle says Twins got more back for Berrios than the Nats did for Scherzer/Trey. That's an interesting take. What do you think?
Yeah, that's kind of the case. I mean, Barrios had cost a lot less, I think, at the end of the day. And Max Scherzer, he's a half-year rental. He's a high-paid player. And then Trey Turner, I would have thought that Trey Turner would have got a lot more back just as a player by himself.
And he has an extra year on his contract, right?
Yeah, he has an extra year, so he'll be on the Dodgers next year. That was really a head-scratcher, but I think all that means is that we don't have the same type of projections and models that the major league teams have, and that they're evaluating players with. So the Nationals might have valued those players a lot higher than the media did.
I just got word that my clock stopped. My bad, guys.
We probably I need the clock.
I need the clock,
It
please.
looks great, man. You did a good job on that.
I know. I took me a long time to get it all together, but sometimes things don't work according to plan. So like you see, I got to open up my stuff because it's just a screen cap. So we'll just start that back up, and then should be running now. All right, guys. That should be good now. Yeah, it's running. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. I'm just gonna get back into more comments. King J Ray, I'm just gonna say it like that for the rest of the time. I'm sorry if it's wrong. Said he's definitely the most valuable still. You can't put too much weight on what Vlad Jr. or Tatis are doing. That's what people said about Belly a few years ago. Look at him now. Trouty is consistent. Yeah, Trout is by far one of the most consistent players in the MLB.
Yeah, I would say that. I'd say you could. I mean, that is true. And then I would put Tatis in the similar area as Trout, as they have a big contract, so that kind of takes away to their value. Mm-hmm. I mean, if we were like really looking at like a numbers aspect, then you would have to say that the most valuable player in baseball would be someone that's producing at an extremely high level and is still in a rookie contract. Mm-hmm. So I mean, Trout has a $400 million contract basically.
Yeah, just for pure value per dollar, right?
Yeah, so any team that was going to be taking on Mike Trout in a $400 million contract would be looking at those injuries and saying, am I going to be stuck with, a $400 million player that's going to be missing maybe 80 games in a year?
Yeah, and that money or that production per dollar goes way down.
Exactly.
You're spending a lot of money for a whole lot of nothing. Chris Swanky checks in, says we should ditch all our one-year contracts today. No point. Might as well get younger dudes in there to compete for long-term contracts to see what we have. Myers, Quintana, Bundy, Suzuki, all gone, please.
Yeah, I don't think. I think if the Yankees were to attach a good player, I don't think they could get another team to take Suzuki.
I think that'll be quite difficult. I think they would have to DFA him to get rid of him. Same with Quintana.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to cut your losses if a player's not producing.
Yeah.
I really thought they would be playing better than they are, but they just haven't performed.
Mm-hmm. I got to let everybody know, because Fernando just messaged me. I got to let you guys know that Taylor Blake Ward will be on at the top of the hour, so make sure to stick around. He'll give the best insight into everything Angels. He's a good guy. I personally haven't met him, but I watched you guys do that interview with him. So I'm sure we'll have a great time. Back to some more comments. Dugout Talk says, as an Angels fan, you have to feel the stress seeing the franchise do nothing to compete. We developed this habit of staying off. Habit of staying the off season. We will pick up arms and end up with band-aids. Sorry, I butchered that one.
That's really good comment though. I mean, what do you think? like realistically, let's look at the pitchers and the people that have been moved so far on this trade deadline. We have Barrios, right?
Yeah.
And you would have had to give up at least Marks, right? Plus others.
Yeah. You would definitely have to get rid of a big prospect to get Berrios.
And then you just have him for next year. So you're saying, okay, so we trade for Barrios, and then next year, we're out Marsh, and now we have a guy that's stable at the top of the rotation. Is that enough to take on the Astros in the division?
I don't think it is. I think you're multiple pieces away for this Angels team to make it competitive, because the bullpen is in shambles right now.
Yeah, no, and I just don't see any controllable starters that have 3 or 4 years to control that are on the market right now. Can you think of any?
No, not ones that are locked up, that aren't locked up long term already for millions upon millions, and that would be a stupid trade.
Yeah, and then let's say that the contention window of getting this entire roster together isn't next year, but starts the year after. Then you start after thinking about the age of players like Justin Upton.
Yeah.
The type of production you're going to be getting from Rendon. So I mean, there's a lot of question marks. So it's hard to make trades at the trade deadline because everyone wants to win right now, but you have to really start thinking about the roster makeup.
Yeah, it's a tough decision for the Angels to make, and they're gonna have to make it pretty damn soon.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta figure out what the lighting situation is. It's gonna drive me nuts. I think that's fine. That looks fine.
Yeah,
I can probably open up the window a little bit more.
Yeah, get that natural lighting.
Yeah, but keep shooting us the comments. We will go over all of them as they come in. Fernando says Brewers coming close to a deal with the Tigers for Daniel Norris. Yes, we saw that. Oops, my window went away. Dugout Talk says, as a Trout fan, it feels even worse to see a generational player go to waste. It sucks and slowly happening to Ohtani. Yeah, I really feel the same way. That they haven't been able to do really anything with either of them.
Yeah, I mean, that's I hate to say it, but you can put a lot of that on just a lot of bad contracts. I mean, that Albert Pujols contract for the last 10 years, that just took away, basically, 10-15% of the entire payroll right off the bat for, an under league value player.
Yeah, and it happened before that with Hamilton.
Exactly.
Or at the same time, I think, right?
And then and then there was I think even back then there was Gary Matthews Jr. before that.
Yeah. Yeah, Angels have a history of signing some bad contracts. Nats fan says, it's a sad day to be a Nats fan. Nats still have deferred payments to max until 2027. Oof.
Yeah. I mean, that's a lot of money to be paying, but you got that billionaire owner, and you guys got a World Series rig out of it.
Hey, Artie's a billionaire owner, and he hasn't done anything. He hasn't... It's so sad. The Angels are in such a bad spot.
Man, it's just crazy. I'm looking at the 2016 roster, which might have been Mike Trout's best year. And I'm just looking at the players around him. You have Trout, then you have Pujols, making his salary, and then you have Carlos Perez at catcher with a 568 OPS. You have Cron at first base, who's your second best hitter. Oh man,
it's a little rough lineup there.
Yeah, everyone else besides Trout has a 90 OPS plus.
I think Calhoun had a decent year that year, right?
Yeah, he was 10% above league average.
Okay, 10%, baby. That's all they needed.
Yep.
Todd checks in. Wait, Chase, you're having problems pronouncing names? Ironic. Lol. Shut up, Todd. Matt Padingo says, don't forget about Cishek. I don't know about you guys, but he has to go. Yes, for sure, but I don't know if anybody wants Cishek.
Yeah, that's one of those guys that I keep thinking retired 7 years ago.
Yeah, you would think that. It's like Oliver Perez, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Oliver Perez has been around for 20 years. I mean, is Cishek even the worst relief pitcher on the roster?
A lot of people think so, but who was it? There's somebody worse. It's sometimes Myers. It was Claudio before that. But their bullpen's just not good. Flat out not good.
I was gonna say he's got a ERA plus of 122.
Yeah, that's.
I mean, I would put him in as like your 8th inning guy, but
that's what they've been doing, and then he's just sucked.
He's like your 6th inning guy, you know.
Yeah. Ace says you look okay. Thank you very much. I get a little antsy when my lighting isn't good. Justin Football says, is Berrios an option for the Angels? Not anymore.
No,
He's an option for the Blue Jays now.
Not unless the Blue Jays are trying to flip him right away.
Just got a tweet in that says, sources report link to a number of teams for Kimbrell. Dodgers kicking around. Oh, jeez. Oh, not the Dodgers again. Anybody but the Dodgers. Dodgers kicking around, but unlikely. Atlanta checked in, also unlikely. Tampa Bay involved. Houston still looking for bullpen help, though Kimbrell or Iglesias might push them over the threshold. Chicago White Sox also mentioned, recently acquired Tepera from Cubs.
Wow. So
that was a mouthful.
Yeah, can you imagine if the Dodgers got Kimbrell too?
I would just give up on the season. Not like we already haven't, but like
their payroll this year is $281 million.
It's ridiculous. You can't compete with them.
No, that's insane. They have let's see, 6 guys making over $20 million.
Like what is any other team supposed to do to stay competitive? The only other team I can think of that could stay competitive with them is the Yankees, because they make so much money. Like the Dodgers are printing money, and they just keep getting richer by getting these players, and it just won't ever stop.
I know.
And then the Dodgers fans piss me off the most, because they just get all smug because they're just like, oh yeah, we're the best. We pick up everybody. But they didn't even have to struggle for any of their players. They just signed them all.
I know. They act like they've won like 6 World Series in the last 30 years.
I know, and they've lost 2 of them. 2? Yeah, 2.
Yeah, you win 1 60-game season World Series, and then you act like you're the best team on the planet.
It's so bad. I'm just at a loss for words with the Dodgers. Chris Swanky checks in once again. He says, such a bummer with all the players on the IL. A great season from Ohtani. A season sitting 1 game under 500. A team with 22 blown saves, even with all that said. 22 blown saves by the Angels. That's just the tail of the tape, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, you can't really get much worse than that. What do they lead the league in the blown saves?
I'm looking it up right now.
We have a guest.
Hey, how's it going?
There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Taylor Blake Ward. If you guys don't know him already, yeah, this is him. I'm Chase, by the way. I don't think you've met me, but you've met Andrew before, I believe.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing, Andrew? How you doing, Chase?
I'm doing good. Oh, wow. My sources got all messed up. Wait, no, they didn't. There we go. Okay, so if you guys have any questions for Taylor Blake Ward, let us know. So do you have anything you want to talk about just to start us off?
No. I mean, it's any information that we would have, obviously, it would be out. I have, contacted who I can contact, but a lot of times when you go through the trade deadline, you don't get returns from text for obvious reasons. And, a lot of the information that you're going to see from a lot of national writers is going to be from, agents and team executives and things that are kind of leaked information, which is fine. That's part of their job. When you start seeing beat writers get information, that is direct from the team, and that's a good thing. And, I'm not a beat writer, and I do what I can to reach out to my contacts, and my phone is right here, ready to go. But
I think we all are.
So far, no, I do not have anything. The Angels are not acquiring Mike Trout 2.0.
What do you think about Perry staying quiet for so long?
It's fine. I mean, it's closed doors. I mean, it's a lot of teams are making moves, and I think that the Angels were in a tough position to figure out whether or not, and I apologize, I'm going to be waving. I've got a window right here, and I've got people here, but it's Angels are in a tough position, whether to sell, whether to buy, and be opportunistic, and whether that means you're bringing someone into the organization that you feel can help you win this year or in years to come, or whether you feel you can have a salary dump, whatever it is, you're going to be opportunistic, and that's kind of what Perry's been open about. He's been very open about being opportunistic. That's the word he uses. So I don't think, there's going to be a lot of concern about the Angels not making a move yet. But we've still got, what is it, 2 hours here-ish, 2-ish hours left. And
2 hours, 4 minutes, and 13 seconds.
Yeah, and if there's no move made, then the organization has figured they can either compete or they've got a plan for something else. So, that's I'm not a front office executive, and that's probably a good thing because those guys are a heck of a lot smarter than I am.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we've heard a lot of talk involving Raisel Iglesias. What do you think about that talk? You think he's going to be on the move?
Yeah, I think he's a guy that definitely is going to bring back some form of value. And if the Angels believe that they're out of it, I think he's obviously the first guy to go with the most value. I don't know. I think one thing that's going to be noted is if you are a fan of the team, I think you are going to be underwhelmed by what the return is, regardless of what it is, because I always go back to that. If you ever saw 500 Days of Summer, there's a scene where it's expectations versus reality. Yeah. And player value for the course of a month, sometimes expectations are we're going to get a serious prospect that's going to help us next year, but realistically, it's likely that you're going to get someone that's a project, maybe an unranked, a quote-unquote unranked prospect in return, or you do get a ranked prospect and you get excited about whatever it is. But realistically, I think people are going to be underwhelmed for the wrong reasons as to what the returns are going to be. And if the Angels do decide to hang on to Raisel Iglesias, there's a reason for it. And we saw plenty of speculation last night with Taylor Ward coming out of the Salt Lake lineup, Jose Reyes coming out of the Inland Empire lineup, Jordan Adams not playing for Tri-City, Levon Soto not playing for Tri-City. There's names, and you speculate, and for all we know, Taylor Ward may have been sick. Maybe he was sick, and that's why he came out of the game. Maybe Jordan Adams needed a day off. Maybe Jose Reyes stubbed his toe. We have no idea, but there's plenty of speculation to go around. But we've seen that the Angels have had moving pieces constantly over the last few days in the minor league system, and you're seeing guys that are coming out of lineups, and that's kind of part of it. Is the Angels have shown a part of their hand in a way. As to whether they're going to be buyers or sellers, or if they're going to be opportunistic. So we don't know. We do not know. We've still got 2 hours. And then one thing I got to say is if there hasn't been a move made by 1 o'clock, hang tight for another half hour.
That's what we're doing.
Yeah, well, you've got you have the obvious there is a deadline, but there are agreements made before the deadline, and it just comes down to kind of news making way and everything. And what physicals have to be done, things like that. But the agreements have to be made by 1 o'clock. So there could be, we've seen it where it's happened at 8 o'clock at night where the physicals took forever to kind of get to the league office. So if nothing happens by 1, just hang tight just a little bit longer.
What does an agreement look like usually? Like, so let's say the deadline's at 1. Can it just be an oral agreement to have a trade, or do they have to have stuff written up?
Yeah, there is obviously the oral is the first part, is the verbal agreement has to be the first part, but usually, contracts are exchanged, all kinds of things. Ownership approval is a part of it. Owners have to make approvals. So owners are very busy today as well as the general managers. They're standing by their phone saying, yeah, I agree to that. I don't agree with that, whatever it is. That is a big part of it, I think, is ownership, is getting in contact with the owner so he can approve it, he or she can approve it. But yeah, it does have to go to paper, and it does have to go to the league office. Now, you can send a verbal agreement to the league office, but there has to be paperwork in the process going to the league office as well. So that 1 o'clock deadline realistically is about a 12:45 deadline.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And is that just like a hard deadline, or is it kind of like a gentleman's agreement?
No, it's pretty hard. I mean, the league office obviously understands that they're going to get confirmations that were brought in at 1 o'clock, and the paperwork is, written up and it's being emailed, it's being sent and everything. So there's maybe a 5-minute grace period or something like that, but realistically, it is a hard deadline at 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm. We just got word from Fernando. He said Angels have made Raisel Iglesias verbally available. The source is John Heyman.
There you go.
Also, Matt Bedingo asks, what about Andrew Heaney and Alex Cobb? Do you see them being traded? And if so, what's the value for them?
I don't know. I would expect if the Angels are moving in that direction, both of those players would be available. I see this report from Heyman here talking about Iglesias, which would indicate that they're probably trying to move pieces. I think Andrew Heaney, you saw Tyler Anderson traded to the Mariners the other day. I think it's similar value, very similar. I think the underlying numbers for Andrew are a little bit better than Anderson, but the overall numbers look very similar to what Anderson is. So that return, Cobb, I don't know. I mean, I would probably say the same. But the thing with Alex Cobb is you've seen how good he is this year, and that's what you're getting as a rental is the guy that is pitching right now. But you also have to look back at track record, and the blister is a big issue. I think, how many times is this blister going to flare up for a team? So I think the value is diminished a little bit because of the blister. Raisel, we're seeing what the relief market is bringing back. We're seeing what Brad Hand, Ryan Tepera, guys like that. So we kind of have an idea of what the relief market looks like. Raisel is a little bit better than both of those guys, but realistically, that's going to be the return for those guys. It's kind of what Tyler Anderson brought back, kind of what Brad Hand brought back.
Okay. Andrew, you got anything?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you think that the relief market has kind of shifted over the last few years? I remember the types of exchanges that were going on just like, it feels like 3 or 4 years ago, and a good relief pitcher could get you maybe a team's top 5 prospect, and now it seems like you're getting like the number 10 to 15 guy.
Yeah, people understand that relievers are so volatile. And obviously there are premier relievers, guys that last for a long time. Raisel Iglesias is one of those guys. But Raisel Iglesias is also 31, 32 years old. It's literally one of those things where a reliever out of nowhere, just out of a total instant, is not the guy he's been in the past. So teams are very wary of that. A few years ago, you look at Andrew Miller, you look at Aroldis Chapman, who top of the scale relievers at the time, moved for pretty premier prospects at the time. But realistically, I think teams value relievers differently, and it's differently than they did then. And it's a trend that kind of you saw as baseball went more to relievers, their value increased, and then you saw what happened. What kind of occurs with it. You kind of have to have example, occurrences by example. And those were kind of examples of, we got value. We won the World Series, or we didn't win the World Series, or whatever. But we move these pieces that have been of value. So teams are kind of a little bit more in depth as to the value of relievers, even though relievers are a premium right now.
Yeah, it makes sense.
All right.
Thinking about. Oh, go ahead.
I got a question in the chat. Jared Timms checks in. He says, ask Taylor why he never calls me back.
I just got off the phone with Jared. Where is Jared here? Called him twice today, twice yesterday. I had an hour and 10-minute conversation with him at 9:30. So that ended at 10:40. I was on the phone with Jared 25 minutes ago, so he's full of crap. I told him he should pop on here. I told him I'd send him the Zoom link. He can pop on here with me.
I got a tweet saying that interest in Byron Buxton has picked up. That's been a little bit of a name that's gone under the radar. Just slightly.
He's a guy that seems like the Twins are trying to extend. It seems like, based on reports, those extension conversations have not progressed well. Not that the team and the player have had disagreements, but just that they haven't met a middle ground on these extensions. And if you can't do that, this is a very valuable guy who when he's healthy, he is a star-studded player, obviously. He just hasn't been healthy. So can you get a team to overpay for him? And I think, Thad Levine is one of the best general managers in baseball. I picked Minnesota to win the Central this year. Obviously, dead wrong on that. They might be last in the Central from what I know. But, Thad Levine knows what he's doing. And if you can lure Byron Buxton out to teams that you think are going to overpay, heck, why not? Why wouldn't you? I mean, you could get some serious value return for Byron Buxton. So I absolutely would do what he's doing. And if the Twins are able to retain him and extend him, even more so to him. If not, it's a qualifying offer to him because someone's going to, if they can't sign him, someone will. And he is definitely a guy that someone's going to pay for. It's just, can you get someone right now in a trade and make someone overpay? I definitely get it. I'm on board with that 100%.
What do you think went wrong with just really quick? What went wrong with the Twins this year? Feels like they just dropped off the face of the earth.
I have no idea. I mean, everything. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't follow the Central as much because I don't see them as much nightly. But I have no idea. I mean, legitimately, I thought they were going to be. I thought they were a threat to win the World Series. I'm going to be real with you. They were my pick to win the Central, even though I think the White Sox are really dangerous. I don't know. I just do not know what happened there.
Man, they have so many good pieces on paper too. It looked like a really good team.
No, just sometimes things on paper look different than how they go in game. I mean, I was talking to a longtime scouting director on this, and he said, the draft or whatever, and he's like, "What do you think of this team's draft?" I said, "I like it." And he says, "Well, how do you know? It's there's still 5 years." I said, "Okay." I said, "On paper, I like it." And he says, "Okay, that's fair. That's fair," and it's true. A lot of things, I mean, especially the draft. You and I have talked about that, Andrew, is, on paper, you can have a good draft, but you won't know for 5, 10 years.
Such a long way out.
Fernando told me to ask you, what do you think about the Mad Max and Trey Turner deal, and what would the Angels had to have given up to match that deal?
Oh, man. A lot. For a team that's in a position like the Dodgers, where you are in realistically, the Dodgers kind of, they need to be a contender for the World Series. They obviously won it last year, but there are always going to be doubters to that just because of the shortened season, whether it's fair or not. I mean, realistically, going into last year, I think everyone and their mother thought the Dodgers were the favorite to win the World Series, and they did. Yeah. But if you're the Dodgers, you've got to make moves like this. So, Clayton Kershaw's down, Trevor Bauer is out, for good reason. I'll leave it at that. But, you need a guy. So Max Scherzer is a great guy to have. He's a competitor. He's one of the best pitchers in baseball at 36, 37 years old. Hall of Famer, in my opinion. I don't think there's a whole lot of argument there. Hall of Famer for sure. Trey Turner, you got him final year of arbitration, I think is what it is. Next year. Yeah. So you've got him another year. I mean, heck, you've got Trey Turner. You can move Corey Seager around. You can move Justin Turner around. It gives you so much talent and more versatility. I think it's brilliant for the Dodgers. As for what the Angels would have had to have given up, Josiah Gray, I would say similar to Chris Rodriguez or a Reed Detmers. Keibert Ruiz is going to be a Brandon Marsh, Joe Adele kind of talent, roughly, one of those kind of talents moving forward. So, yeah, you're starting the conversation with Rodriguez or Rodriguez Detmers or Marsh Adele. And then beyond that, you're talking about, maybe Patrick Sandoval possibly is a guy that would be a guy that you can move. You're talking about mid-level prospects, which probably, when it comes to the Dodgers, they have a stacked farm system. So you'd be talking about Jeremiah Jackson, Kyron Paris. You're talking about the top of your farm going for 2 players. And I don't see the Angels in a position to do that necessarily. And I think that as much as I like Max Scherzer and as much value as he is, I think that the Trey Turner part of that is really where you're starting to talk about that serious value coming back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Andrew, you got another question? I got something loaded up, but
I was gonna say, what do you think that would have done to the Angels season if they had gotten Max Scherzer and Trey Turner? Do you think that would have put them in wild card contention?
Right now, if they got him at the deadline here, I still think their bullpen needs help. I mean, the starting pitching, I think you could use an arm or two. I think Max Scherzer is fine. but realistically, you need 4 relievers right now. I think you really need 3 or 4 relievers to move forward, to be not just you could sneak into the wild card spot. I mean, but the teams ahead of you, it'd be tough. And for one wild card game, you'd have to find. You could have Max Scherzer throw it, you could have Shohei throw it, and you trust these guys. You could have Patrick Sandoval throw it, but realistically, you're going up against Garrett Cole, maybe. You know, it's like you really to try and build for one game is tough. But I will say this: when you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. It's an open book. So, yeah, I don't think Max Scherzer alone would have done it. I think they still need a lot of help to get moving forward.
All right. Matt Bedingo asks, if the Angels don't make any moves to improve the roster, do you see them bringing up any of their top prospects, and if so, who?
So if they don't make moves?
Yes.
I don't think so. Maybe Chris Rodriguez. I mean, that's not true. That's not true. I will say so. I think Chris Rodriguez, if you bring him back in a relief role, if you kind of maneuver him back to the relief, that's a reliever that's very valuable that you pick up there. Reed Detmers, I think he's ready. I think he's close to ready to be a major league player. And I know that he only has 1 start in AAA, and he's had everything. He's a little bit home run prone, but realistically, it all depends on the kid. More than anything, it depends on the kid. And if you tell Reed, if you can explain to him that he's coming up for starts or he's coming up for relief, this is not a part of your development, or it is a part of your development, and just do everything you possibly can. And if you suck, then whatever. If you're great, then whatever. We're still, it doesn't change our opinion of you. And if he buys into that, then you could do it. I really think Chris Rodriguez may be the only guy I could really see doing a whole lot when it comes to that stuff and improving the team internally. I think Reed Detmers would improve the team internally, but for development's sake, I don't know if you bring him up until September. I think he will. I would buy in that he's up in September. I won't, take that away. But and then Joe Adele, obviously. But the Angels really do want to have Joe get a full year of development down there. Mm-hmm. Matt's a good guy. Matt's a really good guy. Matt's a good person. That's a good question, Matt.
All right, we got a question from Ace. She says, why are the Giants not buyers right now? I thought they needed more bullpen arms.
The Giants. I was just talking to someone about this. The Giants really snuck up on everybody. Really surprised. I'm really surprised. And the Giants made it was Jared Timms. I was talking to Jared Timms about this. They made the moves that I wanted to make. Alex Wood, Anthony Desclafini. I love those moves, and I was really happy they brought those guys in, and I think that's an improvement. But yeah, they do need relievers. They've needed relievers for a while. Why they haven't made moves is probably because it's 11:13 a.m. West Coast. I don't know. I could see them going after every reliever, same as the Angels, same as a lot of teams. I don't think the Giants aren't done. Farhan Zaidi is one of the best general managers of baseball, one of the smartest men in baseball, and I think he can build. And I think if he's got an eye on a reliever, I think he might get one. They've got a good farm system too. I like their. I've seen the Giants come through quite a few in the California League, and they've got some interesting kids, man. I like what the Giants have.
And Matt Bedingo says, thanks, Taylor. I appreciate that. Just thought I'd throw that in.
Well, on that sense, tell him to pound sand. Nah, Matt's a good guy. I like Matt.
Andrew, you got another question?
Yeah, no, it's just what kind of future do you think the Giants have? Were they expecting to be in contention like this year, or was this a complete surprise to them as well?
I don't know. I think people that I've talked to when it comes to the Giants organization saw them as contending, and I felt they were confident in that. I feel like they were almost overly confident because on paper I didn't see them matching up with the Padres or Dodgers, and obviously they are. I mean, they've got a 3, 4, 5 game lead, whatever it is, in the AL West or NL West. One of the toughest divisions of baseball. I mean, I think more than anything is I think we ignored the Giants. I think that's more than anything because we saw what the Padres did. We saw what the Dodgers have done. And we sat there, we're like, yeah, those are the 2 teams in the National League that you got to watch for, and no one else is going to match up. Maybe the Braves, which the Braves are where they are because of injuries and everything. But, the Giants really just this is just from my perspective. I can't speak for anyone else, but they really just snuck up on me. And I did not expect them to be where they are. And their future, I think that was kind of more of the question is he had Brandon Belt, Brandon Crawford, Buster Posey, and eventually these guys are going to get older, right? Eventually. But,
As if they're not old already.
Well, that's the thing. Is like eventually they're going to age, but Buster Posey is ageless. And he's still, I mean, I was talking to someone about how Tim McGraw is still 30 years old and Buster Posey is still like 25 years old. He's the best looking guy in baseball, and he still hasn't aged with he's still one of the best catchers in baseball. He is the best catcher in baseball. I don't know. I'm ranting a little bit, but I just, on paper, I didn't see where the Giants lined up with the Dodgers and the Padres. I thought that wild card would be tough to do because I think, I thought the Brewers were going to be okay. I think the Cardinals were going to be okay. Cubs, not so much. And then the East, I thought the East was going to be really interesting. I thought, the Nationals, the Marlins, the Braves, even the Mets, even the Phillies. I thought there was 5 teams in the National League East that were going to be very interesting. And that it still is a little bit of the case, but not as much. So I just didn't really see a spot for the Giants when it came to a playoff spot. They really, really are a good team.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the Braves, you mentioned them a couple of times. What do you think of them rebuilding their outfield with Adam Duvall and Eddie Rosario?
For me, it's too little too late. Just for me. I saw where they were in the standings just the other day. I don't see it happening. They also didn't give away a whole lot when it came to that. I got to give it to them. Eddie Rosario came over for Pablo Sandoval. It's not a big deal. Adam Duvall for Alex Jackson, which I actually really like that trade for both teams a lot because Alex Jackson just needs a change of scenery. Miami's going to be a good place for him. But they didn't give up a lot for that. So it's not a big deal to me. I don't think they gave up a ton of future assets when it came to that. And Alex Jackson is probably the question mark there. But no, I like the moves. I like the moves for the Braves, but I don't see it really altering their season at a monumental, point.
Mm-hmm. Andrew, you got another one?
Yeah, it's kind of looking at the Braves roster. They've had it's crazy how many people that they've lost this year, or just haven't been performing. Was that the one where they had the pitcher that broke his hand early in the year when he punched the wall?
It's a great question. There's 2 ways to say I don't know. There's I don't know, and that's a great question. I don't know.
All right, so I got another one from Matt Bedingo. He says, do you see the Dodgers re-signing Scherzer, Turner, and not guys like Bellinger or Kershaw, etc.? He said he saw reports saying Turner lives in Florida and doesn't plan on re-signing in the West.
I mean, you got the money. Right? Someone flashes $100 million in front of me, I'm going to sit there and look at it at least. It's I don't know. I could see them trying. I can see, obviously they're going to make an attempt at doing it. But if you have the money and you have the luxury of doing things like that, then I would do it. If it's like, I don't know what the Dodgers' plan is when it comes to luxury tax. I think everyone is trying to stay under a luxury tax to an extent, but you can move money, you can move all kinds of things around to really establish yourself doing some things. So I don't see an issue with it all. I can see him doing it.
Yeah, with that kind of money, you could have a house in Florida, a house in California.
Live wherever you want. Live in Cobb.
I'll jump back in with you guys in about 20 minutes, all right?
All right, that sounds good. Hey, thanks. All right, I just got a brand new tweet here as I switch my scenes back. I just got a brand new tweet saying that the Chicago White Sox are finalizing a deal to acquire Craig Kimbrell from the Cubs. Now, that is very interesting because we've already seen them make one crosstown trade.
Oh, that is interesting. I wonder what the White Sox had to give up for that.
That's a great question.
Man, Kimbrell looked dead last year, didn't he?
He did, and then he just kind of flipped a switch this year, and now he's all better.
Yeah. I guess that's one of those things that we were just hearing about where a pitcher can be really volatile.
Mm-hmm. Blake Peters checks in on YouTube. He says, any chance we see an Upton trade today? I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I can't imagine it, right?
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah, he's a defensive liability, so maybe a team that's looking for DH help.
Perhaps, I don't know. It's a hard call because like we don't know if the Angels are in full sell mode or not because they just literally have not done anything. But I would think the next move today will be Raisel Iglesias.
Yeah, that would be my guess too.
Hey, Andrew, you mind turning up your mic a touch? Thank you.
Is that better?
Oh yeah, way better. Because I was like, you're getting way lower levels on my end. All right, perfect. Yeah, but yeah, Raisel Iglesias is probably next up.
What kind of return would you like to see from like you personally?
They aren't gonna get anything though. That's just the only thing because he's a rental closer, so they're gonna get like you said, a minor league power arm at best.
Yeah, I mean he does have what like 13 strikeouts per 9 innings, so he is like a shutdown reliever.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at his strikeout to walk ratio; it's almost 10. So
Yeah.
he is an elite arm to have, coming in as a closer or an 8th inning guy. So maybe you can get a team where all the other relievers are gone, and the team's really desperate for that shutdown reliever, and they might be able to overpay at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Just seems like there's not a market for getting big returns for relievers right now.
Yeah, I got to put on the trade tracker Kimbrell to the White Sox.
Yeah, I'm looking up that.
And I got to put up what's his name, Adam Duvall. Forgot to do them. It's kind of hard when we're talking about these. So yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, this is updating in real time. So yeah, now we have those in. Do you see the Cubs trading Bryant soon?
Yeah, I do. I think this is his last day as a Cub today.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like they got so many things in the works, and if they're really not planning on re-signing Bryant and they just let him go for a compensation pick, that's got to be one of the most disappointing things I've seen from a front office.
They gotta get something out of him. There's no way they don't, right?
Yeah, I mean, they've had so much time and so much talk about trading him, and I know that he recently said that he is more than willing to come back as a, as a Cub, but that legal case about having his playing time manipulated and just all the media attention that he's gotten with that relationship, I have to imagine he wants to change the scenery.
Yeah. Looking at some more comments. Matt Badingo says, I would think the White Sox gave up all of their farm to the Cubs for 2 players. Jeez. I don't think Bryant was in that trade, was he? You're talking about Tepera. I think he's talking about Tepera.
Yeah, what is the state of the White Sox farm system right now?
It can't be that good, right? Because they've made a ton of trades already.
They have. They did have a top farm system. I know. I haven't really kept up to date on the White Sox at all. But I remember how stacked they were up until like last year.
Mm-hmm.
But they promoted most of those guys.
Yeah. Ace says at least Kimbrell won't have to move. He will not. Just move not too far.
It's a little bit different train schedule. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much. Ace also says, happy birthday, Jared Walsh. Yes, happy birthday indeed. I have his jersey over there, sitting in the corner. Big Hammer 20 says, it's Walsh's birthday. Yes, it is. Everybody, let's sing happy birthday to Jared Walsh. No, I'm not gonna do that.
I was like, don't put me on that.
I'm not gonna do that on this live show. Badingo also says, I think Bryant is heading to the Mets. He just has a feeling about it. That would be a good fit. I think so.
Yeah, definitely.
The Mets need as much offensive help as they can get, really.
Yeah, what do you think about how Francisco Lindor's been doing over there?
He's really turned it around, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He had such a slow start.
Yeah.
like
And the New York fans, they were starting to boo him, right?
Yeah, they were. And even now, he has turned it around, but for a guy that just signed a $300 million contract to be halfway through the season, hitting 228.
Yeah. So Kimbrell is off the board. I got to cross this one off on my list. A couple of names that I'm seeing pop up that I haven't heard anything on yet is one is Kyle Gibson. I'm surprised we haven't seen any movement from him.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a guy that doesn't. I mean, that's another guy like Alex Cobb, where you're looking at their track record in recent seasons, and you're wondering what type of pitcher you're actually going to get.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Kyle Gibson has been great this year, but only this year.
Yeah, that's very good analysis there, because in the past he was getting shelled.
Yeah.
We got some more stuff. Ace says, I want to see Story get traded today. Yeah, I think it might happen. We haven't heard a whole lot from the Rockies camp. What I did hear is that the Rockies have interest in keeping their pitchers, John Gray and German Marquez.
Yeah, that's
puzzling.
It's I've never seen an organization just self-sabotage like this.
Yeah, it's like, why? Why do you not want to get rid of them? Because they're going to give you a whole bunch in return. Do they not know what a farm system is?
Yeah, you're losing Gray at the end of this year. What are you hoping to do? Offer him, the $18 million and get a compensation pick back for him?
It doesn't make sense. Same. I don't know if they're going to try to keep Trevor Story too. A name I do have written down next to Trevor Story is the Rays. Rays have been the real wild card throughout all this, and if the Rays pick up anybody big, I honestly would not be surprised.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either. Man, you just don't know what the Rays are doing at all, and I don't know. Honestly, watching how much teams are holding on to their prospects, maybe a compensation pick is more than you can get for Trevor Story for half a season.
Yeah. Everybody, keep those comments rolling in. We'll go over them. Give me your best trade proposals. We'll see what you guys got. We'll give them the thumbs up, thumbs down. Does that work? Thumbs up, thumbs down treatment?
Thumbs up, yep, that works.
We'll keep it simple. Just throw a bunch in there. We'll do it that way. We got more. T. Goldberg. White Sox are stacked now. Yes. I think they were stacked before this, right?
Yeah, they're the definition of stacked. They just got Jimenez back, and who else did they get back? They got back their center fielder. I forget his
Robert?
name. Yeah, he's coming right
back now?
Yeah, he's going to be back. He's either back now or he's coming back very soon.
Oh, I didn't hear that. T. Goldberg also says, who is the closer now, Kimbrell or Hendricks? That's a good one.
Man, that is a good one. Because both of those guys have the track record, too.
I think you would stick with Hendricks because there's got to be something in his contract that says he's a closer role.
Yeah. I wonder if Kimbrell has that in his contract, too, though.
Yeah?
Yeah, right? Because he signed a big free agent contract. I know it wasn't with the White Sox, but... I mean, I don't know. The Kimbrell, except for the blips in the last couple of years, was the best closer in baseball for about 10 seasons.
Yeah, like with the Red Sox and the Braves before that, right?
Yeah. This is a guy that has pretty close to a sub-2 ERA for his career. Was just elite on a Hall of Fame track. He might be back on that Hall of Fame track now. But I mean, Hendricks is another guy that's just also been elite reliever of the year type guy.
All right, we got our first trade proposal from Facebook. Dustin Odell, he says Joey Bart for Iglesias. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah, 100%. Take it. There's no way they give that up.
I don't think they're giving up. I don't think they're giving up Joey Bart. What was he, a number 2 pick?
Yeah, he's one of the Giants' top prospects.
Yeah. And he's a catching prospect, which has been a position that the Angels have needed for the longest time. However, Max Stassi, he has gone off this year, and I think they should lock him up for a few more years. They have him for arbitration next year, I think.
Yeah, I couldn't remember if he was a free agent at the end of this year or next.
I think it's next year, and then, they got arbitration coming up for him and stuff like that. See, arbitration's like one of those weird things for me that I just don't quite fully understand. It's like... I don't know. I don't know. It's a simple concept, but Yeah. Matt Bedingo says Story would be a good fit for the Cardinals. Reunite him with good friends Arenado.
Yeah, it feels like the Cardinals just get all of the Rockies' good players.
Seems like it, yeah.
And you go back, Larry Walker, Matt Holliday,
Yeah.
Nolan Arenado.
That is true. Yeah, you don't really think of that sometimes. Ace says, saw rumors about the Mets kicking the tires on Baez and Story. I would be surprised to see Baez go. I think I would be surprised to see him go.
Yeah, Baez is one of those guys where I don't know how to value him.
He just seems like one of those guys that's just going to be like the face of the Cubs forever.
Yeah, he does.
Like an Ernie Banks type.
And he just hasn't, he's been really good this year. But this is a guy where if his tools aren't working, because he doesn't get on base.
Yeah, because he swings at everevering.
Yeah.
He's got the highest whiff percentage, right? Or not whiff percentage, but like he swings at everything.
Struck out 131 times this year. 15 walks. But he plays really good defense, and when his power's working, a good defensive shortstop with 30 home runs, he doesn't need to get on base that much.
Yeah.
But how much do other teams value that versus him being the face of the franchise for the Cubs?
That's a good question. Meaning, I don't know.
I don't know.
Todd says Cleveland and Kansas City quiet as well, same position as the Angels in regards to being on the fence. Yeah, I'd say so. They're not in as good of a position. I mean, KC less than Cleveland. Cleveland's actually in the wild card hunt, right?
Yeah. Cleveland. Did they lose? How long did they lose Bieber for?
I'm not sure. He might be out for a month, if not longer.
Yeah, that might be. Says he's on the 60-day DL. That's not good. That
Anytime you see that, I do have written down on my sheet here. The Indians basically could trade anybody. They could trade any pitcher, any player that they'd want, as we saw with Eddie Rosario.
Yeah, that was the number one player that would be like the most surprising player that was seen moved. Like, I would not be surprised. All right, let me say that. I would not be surprised if I saw Jose Ramirez move.
You wouldn't be surprised if you saw Jose Ramirez move?
I mean, the Indians just seem like they're always willing to trade anyone.
Yeah, it does seem like that. And they could probably get rid of a pitcher, because they've always had great pitching, and it seems like whenever a pitcher moves on from Cleveland, they do pretty good.
Hey, how's it going?
So we just got word in on the Craig Kimbrell deal. He's on the White Sox now. So what do you think about that?
I think I'd be happy if I was the Cubs. I mean, I think both teams are happy, but oh my gosh, I mean, Cody Hewer and Nick Madrigal, that's a haul. That's a big one.
Wow,
it's a big one.
We didn't even hear the return for him, but that's big.
We were looking for the return.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Madrigal and Cody Hewer, and that's some big stuff.
How's that going to work at second base with Madrigal and Horner?
I don't know. You could move one around. I mean, I'm sure you can move one around, but that's I'm just Madrigal himself. If it would have been Madrigal, I would have been impressed. But the fact they got a pitcher out of it too is really impressive on Chicago on the Cubs end. I don't know. I don't have to figure it out. That's kind of a positive.
Yeah.
Value is value. That's the way I look at it. Is you have enough players, even if they're at the same position, that's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Big deal.
Yeah, last year they were looking at Kimbrell as an unmovable contract too.
Getting there. It's I'm trying to see what Madrigal signed for. I'm going to the wrong deal here, but I've got to imagine he was $3-4 million bonus out of the draft, which is huge.
Yeah, 6.4.
Or 6.4 million.
Yeah.
Or 6.4. 3, 4, 6.4.
A lot of money.
Big deal. No, I'm very much on board with that. And Cody Hewer, that's not a throw-in. That's a very, very good pitcher to have. Even if his ERA this year isn't great, that's a pretty big deal to just have him kind of lobbed in, and just kind of speaks to the volume of the White Sox are one of the better pitching development teams in the league, and very impressive. Cody signed for $260,000 in the 6th round. I don't remember, he went to school at Wichita, but I mean, if that's what Kimbrell's going for, I would be looking to the Angels and saying, if this is anything close to package. I mean, obviously Kimbrell has the option to play again next year with the contracts, but if it's anything close to that, that's a big get.
And we have Fernando with us now. How's it going, Fernando? All right, good talk. Yeah, we got the question earlier. Who do you think is going to be the closer for the White Sox going forward? Is it going to be Kimbrell, or are they going to stick with Hendricks?
There is a report from Ken Rosenthal saying that both of them will get the opportunity.
Okay.
I think that's a good that's a good deal. I mean, it helps them out quite a bit to be able to have the luxury of moving multiple guys around and having them move around through high leverage situations. I know Tony La Russa is probably going to be more of, we have a closer, we don't, we have an established closer or whatever, but if you can have Tony understand high leverage situations, you have two very key arms moving between your closer role and your high situation roles, whether you call it setup or whatever you call it. Like I was saying earlier, I didn't write off the White Sox as a potential World Series contender or potential AL Central winner. I had the Mets, or not the Mets. They're not anywhere near that. What was it? Oh, it's the Twins. There you go, the Twins. But still, very impressive on both ends.
I got a lot of Angels fans weighing in the comments. I got Abe Rubio saying, being an Angels fan hurts. I got Thomas Montoya saying, come on, do something. I think we all have the same sentiment as Angels fans.
Well, I might get in trouble for this. I'm not an Angels fan. I was even telling someone the other day, I was talking to a guy that played for the Angels in the 90s and thousands, and I said, I grew up a baseball fan in Southern California, and my parents told me, my dad was a Dodgers fan, my mom was an Angels fan, and they said, you choose what you want to do, but they told me, you don't have to be a fan of one team, because I like players. I like Ken Griffey Jr., I like Mark McGwire, I like Sammy Sosa, and they said, if you like these guys, cheer for them. You don't have to cheer for the Dodgers or the Angels or the Padres or the Giants or whatever. So even when I was young, I grew up really without a team, without a loyalty to a specific team. I just enjoyed baseball, and that really helps when you become a journalist and a writer, because you have to be objective about things. And so I'm not an Angels fan, so I get the frustrations, but I can't relate to them as much as other people can. And my frustrations come with the Vancouver Canucks, which that's a different story in itself. So I can't relate to the frustrations. I understand, but I can't sit there and say, yeah, I'm frustrated too, or whatever it is.
I think that's a lot better way of going about watching baseball. I think it would be a lot less painful.
Yeah. Well, it's like, I want to see if you guys win. I'll mute myself real quick. I'll talk to you guys in a minute.
Okay. Right. Sounds good. Julian Avila says they need to trade Heaney. I don't know how much they would get for Heaney, really.
Probably similar to Daniel Norris.
Yeah. I would think so.
Heaney would be an absolute salary dump.
He would.
Yeah.
He would.
Hey, we got Fernando.
Yeah, yeah, we do have Fernando.
I'll be coming in and out here. I'm doing some work, but I just want to be involved.
Yeah, 100%, man. Just so you're talking baseball picture all of a sudden.
Yeah, right.
I just got a tweet that says Mets in discussion with Cubs on Javier Baez.
Oh, that would be interesting.
I said, I'd be surprised if he moves.
Who's the better defender, Lindor or Baez?
Lindor.
Is he?
I think Baez could easily go back to second base, because Baez played second base for a while, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And third.
Addison Russell.
Yeah. Man, whatever happened to him, right? He had that.
Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah, I know, but like, didn't he? I thought he came back for a little bit.
I think he did, and
They
then
just sucked.
I remember having with athletics, right?
Sounds right.
Do you guys think this will be a situation like it has been for the last couple of years where we're buyers and sellers, or do you think that the Raisel Iglesias move might actually trigger a full-on selling situation?
Like a domino effect? Oy.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a couple of interesting pieces we have aside from Raisel. I mean, if they're really willing to go all in on a sale, I mean, Max Stassi would definitely be appealing to certain teams. Given his amount of control, he's got one more year left after this.
Yeah, one more year.
Mm-hmm.
Jose Iglesias might be a little bit. You'll get you something back.
Yeah, the last guy I would want to see leave is Max Stassi because we've been searching for a catcher for so long, and we just now got somebody who's like decent. He's been good though. He's been really good, and I've liked watching him.
Yeah, he's been a lot of fun to watch. It's just a matter of, have we just been seeing his prime peak at this time? And he's not going to be in his prime much longer. I believe he's is he 31 right now?
Yeah,
Sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say he's definitely in his early 30s. So he doesn't have a lot of time left, at least in theory. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. But you could trade him right now where he's got some value. But I certainly understand the other viewpoint. Yeah, we have long for a catcher for a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think 33 is the big drop off stat wise, right? Where you can kind of predict.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like the vast majority of players just
yeah,
fall off
where they fall off. Yeah. I got a message from Dustin Odell from Facebook. He says trade Heaney for a Snickers machine. Hey, sure.
Yeah, those Snickers machines are pretty rare, so they might not be
Done
willing to give
deal,
it
right?
up.
Hey, in Moneyball, we saw somebody get traded for some soda.
Yeah, they were paying for a year worth of restocks, right?
Yeah.
Ace says on Instagram, any team showing interest in the Cubs' Kyle Hendricks? Anybody?
I've heard rumors on him, but I haven't seen like anyone hard linked to him.
Because the Cubs have been, they've shown us that they're pretty much in hard rebuild mode right now. I mean, they did get quite a few pieces, but I think they could retool this offseason as well. Because they're shedding a bunch of guys.
Yeah, Hendricks, he's one of those guys that just, when you look at his career stats, they're just way better than you would expect.
Yeah.
Man, I wonder what kind of return he would get. Because I know pitchers, it seems like other teams get scared away from these finesse guys.
Yeah.
As far as like returning like high value.
They see it as more of a risk. Matt Bedingo says, I'm a fan of Angels and Dodgers, and with that being said, I'm probably going to get a lot of hate on here.
Yeah, that's a really dangerous thing to say.
Yeah. Watch your back, Matt.
Ken Rosenthal reports that teams are making a bigger push for that Mets deal for Baez.
Mm-hmm. Like I said earlier, I'm gonna be shocked if he goes through. I wasn't thinking Baez was gonna be on the trade block.
Yeah. And I'm seeing Josh Donaldson is also on the trade block.
I think we knew that a little bit before too. Same with Kenta Maeda, right?
Yeah, exactly. It looks like everyone on the Twins team is on the trade block right now.
Yeah. We got in a little bit over an hour until the trade deadline, so we'll talk about more moves as they come in, but we don't really have anything right now. Let's just go over who we think will be traded, who's left. Trevor Story's still on the block. We got Chris Bryant, he's still on the block. And that's Raisel Iglesias, Kyle Gibson. Any of those names stick out to you guys?
Yeah, I'm really curious to see.
Go ahead, Andrew.
Oh no, go ahead, Fernando.
I was going to say that I don't think there's any possibility that Trevor Story isn't today. He would have been the one who I would have. I think he's going to be a after the deadliner, if you know what I mean. He's going to be one of those guys who just kind of slipped through the cracks.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have 10 minutes after, it's going to come out that, the Yankees or, a team like that made the move.
God, not the Yankees, anybody but the Yankees or the Dodgers. I don't think the Dodgers would go after Story, though. Not after picking up.
You never know
Trey
at this point.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dodgers are becoming an empire.
the evil empire at that.
Do you think, what I'm really curious is, do you guys think the Dodgers break $300 million for their payroll by the end of 1 o'clock today? They're at 285 right now.
I don't think there's many more moves that they could make to get above that, right?
Yeah.
Unless they go like Chris Bryant, right?
They're like completely maxed out. That'd be pretty impossible.
So I have a question for you guys, because we've been running through questions. I've had a term pretty much since I was about 10 years old that I've said, and I'm a firm believer in it, and I know it's going to get me in trouble, but I've said it before out loud, so it's not I'm already in trouble. When the Yankees are good and when they're in the playoffs, is baseball more exciting to you guys?
Yeah, I'll hate watch them. So I imagine there's a lot of people that will also hate watch them as well.
Well, that's the thing. I feel like baseball is more exciting when the Yankees are good, because you either have someone to cheer for or hate or despise. And I think that when the Yankees are in the playoffs, it just makes things so much more intriguing because it's the Yankees. And, you know, everyone has an opinion on the Yankees, no matter what it is. And I'm a neutral standard on the Yankees. I love their uniforms. I was a big Derek Jeter fan. I despise that they won all those championships when, you know, it's like I got tired of it, same as everyone else did. But I really enjoy watching the Yankees, and that's kind of part of it is when the Yankees are good, they're fun to watch for whatever reason it is. So I'm just curious if you guys feel the same way.
Personally, I like to see a lot of new teams in the playoffs, but if they're trying to take down the Yankees, anybody trying to take down the Yankees is always fun to watch, in my opinion. And the Yankees always make it a close game, so it's usually a good series.
Yeah, I think the 2004 Red Sox-Yankees series, where the Red Sox came back, might have been like the best baseball I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not a Red Sox fan, but, you know, just watching after the Yankees won all those World Series in a row, the Red Sox had never won, to watch the big evil empire get taken down, that was super exciting. Mm-hmm. And when the Yankees are good, it is way better for baseball.
That's a fair point. Fernando, do you have anything for Taylor?
Well, first of all, thanks for joining, Taylor. I mean, like I let you know that I'm in New Jersey right now with my boss, so it's kind of hard to convince your boss, hey, I'm going to be popping in and out. So thank you guys for being flexible, all of you guys, and thank you to the listeners for coming on for this. But I actually want to go ahead and answer your question. I mean, you know, as far as, you know, how baseball feels, I mean, of course, when, you know, the Yankees, the Dodgers, the Red Sox, these kind of teams are in the playoffs, I mean, it means money, right? I mean, at the end of the day, that's what it boils down to. Owners love money. Rob Manfred loves money. So, you know, in a way, I guess it is more exciting because, you know, the Yankees are just that team that people love to hate. You know, there's a lot of those teams that are on there. You know, for the longest time, the Cubs were lovable losers. And now we're dealing with, you know, the Cubs maybe once again starting to trend towards that lovable loser phase. But overall, yeah, I think you are right. I think when a team like the Yankees are in there, maybe it is more exciting. Maybe not necessarily in the hoorah, woohoo kind of way. But it's good for baseball for sure.
I think the thing with the Yankees is they're always viewed as, you know, the big contract. It's a big money team. They buy the World Series championships. But for the last 5 years or so, that hasn't been the case. I mean, obviously Garrett Cole is huge and Giancarlo Stanton. But even the year they brought Giancarlo Stanton, I think they had 6 or 7 of their regular lineup was homegrown players. And the majority of their pitching staff was homegrown players. And I just like seeing that, especially for a team like the Yankees. Even the Dodgers, you look at the World Series lineup last year, a lot of that was homegrown talent, even though they're, you know, it's the cop-out. There's Mookie Betts, there's all these big contracts, but a lot of homegrown talent or talent that you've developed, such as a Justin Turner, you know, Justin Turner, a DFA, and you developed him into what he is. But it's like you look at those 2000 teams with the Yankees, it's Bernie Williams and Jorge Posada, Derek Jeter are the leaders. Those are homegrown talents. And it's like, I think that's kind of where my perspective was, even though at the time I wasn't in on that. But looking back, a team that builds from within is just really exciting to watch. And that's why I think you watched the Marlins last year, even though a lot of that was trades, it was still, you know, to a sense, a homegrown talent. And you like seeing teams like that succeed. Obviously, you know, like I said, I'm getting in trouble for talking about the Yankees, but it's just different. I feel like sometimes when a team is built a certain way and they play a certain style, it makes it more interesting.
Yeah, definitely. When did the Yankees?
Did you guys already report that Maeda has been put on the market?
We talked a little bit about him, but nothing too much.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, he's been officially put up on the market for the John Heyman.
All right, thank you.
Oh, we saw Fernando for half a second there.
Yeah, we did.
There you go. That was a sneak peek.
So, do you think the Yankees would be better off if they were spending more in free agency? Do you think they should be more aggressive pushers?
Well, Athletics just made a trade. My Twitter is just going crazy, so I can't even pull up that trade.
The Mets are finalizing the deal for Baez too. And
So
then
A's are in agreement on a deal to acquire Josh Harrison and catcher Yan Gomes. Sorry, I think I'm
Dang.
going to cut you off.
a couple of them. Which one do we want to talk about first? Javi Baez or Yan Gomes and that one? I think we got to talk about the bigger name there and Javi Baez, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. Who takes over for shortstop for the Mets, right? It has to be Baez moving to second.
Well, yeah, I guess, but like also they just picked up Madrigal, so that I guess that opens up a spot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to do something on the broadcast right now.
Yeah,
while we're
I'm trying
talking.
to get the live trade feed going.
I know.
Yeah, anytime a big deal happens, I think everyone's just like, oh. But I mean, fans are the same way, right? Everyone's just kind of, everyone needs a little bit of time to freak out. But let me see. This is dead air time.
I know.
No,
How is it
yeah.
dead air time when we have two moves to make? All right. Hold on. Let me get back to the comments. Ace says it's Cubs fire sale. Matt Bedingo says Baez. Bedingo also says, but like Taylor said, I'm a fan of a few players on teams here and there. Yeah, that's well put. What kind of return are we gonna see for Javier Baez?
Man,
See, he's a rental, correct?
yeah, he's a rental.
It's really going to depend on what else is with the deal. I really have a hard time believing it would just get Baez.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it seems like it would be a little bit more.
Yeah, it's just crazy to me to think that the Cubs went from being a playoff team last year, correct, to just we're going to sell away.
Mm-hmm. Well, they've had a rough time this season, and I think that's just all you got to go off of. I don't think you can go off the past really anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's insane. Of all the Cubs players I thought would be traded, I did think that Baez was well below the list on than Chris Bryant, and he's still on the team.
Well, especially because wasn't Baez already talking at some point about an extension, and he gave them a price tag of what he was looking for?
Yeah, I think so. What was that, Taylor?
The thing about Baez right now is he's actually kind of at the low point of his career. You look at strikeout rate is much higher than it ever has been. You look at his offensive numbers are down from where they are. I think that sometimes in our mind we think of stardom because Javi Baez is a star in the league. He's one of the most. He is, in my opinion, the most exciting player in the league outside of Ohtani. But at the same time, we value him based on superstar status when what you're paying for is a guy that's striking out at 35% of the time right now, which is a very serious problem. And you're going to a league where there's a division where there's a lot of strikeout pitchers. So I think that the value is going to be interesting. It does sound like the Cubs are going to, or the Mets are looking to add an arm to this as well as not just a one for not just Baez, but excess.
Who do you think that arm might be? Do you think it could be like Kyle Hendricks?
It looks like it's Zach Davies.
Zach Davies? He's on the move again. That guy's an underrated pitcher.
Yeah, he's been kicked around a lot lately.
Yeah, he was great on the Padres last year.
You have a connection to Davies somehow, correct?
Yeah. Went to high school, was on the same part of the same baseball program as him. That guy was way better than me. It's a big step ahead.
Confirmed. Andrew's a Hall of Famer compared to Zach Davies. You heard it here first.
Yeah, you can tell the guys are going to be Major League Baseball players when you're in high school playing against them. They're striking you out on 3 pitches with 85-mile-an-hour sliders.
Guys, I have to step out for like one quick second. I will be right back.
No problem at all. All right, so maybe we should talk a little bit about the trade that the Athletics just made. We don't have the exact return for that yet, do we?
Which one was the Athletics trade?
So that was for Josh Harrison, the infielder, and catcher Yan Gomes, and they got them from the Washington Nationals.
That seems like the most like Athletics trade I've ever heard of.
Yeah, right. Just wait until like the no-name prospect they got in exchange, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
that they did not include.
Josh Harrison, he's been kind of having like a bounce back year with Washington, right? I think he's got an 800 OPS. He's worth 2.5 wins above replacement.
The other one in the Baez trade is Trevor Williams, not Zach Davies.
Oh yeah. Thank you for that update.
Yeah, right. We're trying to stay on top of everything here.
What do you think about that for the Mets? Because Trevor Williams hasn't been having a great season.
He has not. Okay, so Trevor Williams this year, he's minus 0.3 WAR, 4 wins, 2 losses, and a 5.06 ERA.
Yep, and he wasn't much better last year with a 6 ERA.
No, he really the only solid year that he's had recently was in 2018 with a 3.11 ERA. So we're a little bit removed from that. And I mean, with a career 4.49 ERA, it's going to be really interesting.
The Mets do a great job though at developing pitchers though, so maybe they could pull something out of a hat for him.
Yeah, absolutely. If anyone's capable of doing that, it's.
I got to take off, guys. Appreciate you guys having me on. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll chat soon.
Right,
thanks for coming on, man.
Thank you so much, Taylor.
Yeah,
really appreciate
guys.
it.
All right.
All right.
Let's get back
Taylor Blake Ward.
Yeah.
Oh, Chase, you're back. Go ahead. Take the
I
reins.
am back. Sorry, I just
Yeah.
We have a lot of things going on in my household right now, so I had to take care of that.
You're good. Yeah, thanks for coming on, Taylor. That was really cool that he took his time out to come on our show.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you guys at a point where we can take a little bit more questions?
Yeah, I mean,
because we have a lot to go over, man. We got a lot to go over. Hold on, I gotta get back situated once again because getting up and leaving. Okay. Todd says Nationals unloaded. What do you guys think about the Nats? Just 2 years removed from being the champs, just selling and not getting any returns that warranted it.
Todd and I talked about it last night on the podcast that him and I did, where Todd and I had called out their ownership and said that it was almost embarrassing of their owner to just be so willing to just destroy everything, so fast.
Yeah, it's shocking to see, but I think they'll be in decent shape after this offseason because they're shedding a lot of those people, and I think they'll get a few of them back because we saw them do it this season. But yeah, next up we got Map Dingo. He says with Baez going to the Mets, that only means Chris Bryant for them, right? Hold on, they means Chris Bryant out for them, right? I'm just gonna assume that he's asking like what relation does Chris Bryant have to that trade. Sorry, my battery just died. Battery replacement. All the cameras are going out right now.
I know. The live stream was taxing it.
I know. Well, it's not even the live stream. It's just the battery died.
Well, we do that. We have another question from Instagram. Question about Oakland as well. Why do they always seem to be hungry to make trades to improve minus the money? With the money backing the Angels, who just seem to stand pat.
I mean, the Angels are just staying put because they got nobody they can really trade. Like, I mean, they can sell, but I don't think they can buy much anymore. There's nobody on the market anymore that they could get other than like Kyle Gibson. But why would they sell in division or get somebody in division?
Yeah, I mean then Oakland, they don't really have much of a choice. They have to be constantly looking for value because they're not going to be able to go out and sign the big free agents.
Yeah,
they're not going to be able to even go out and do international spending and spend as much as other teams. That that entire stadium fiasco is really keeping their hands tied behind their backs.
We just hit the hour mark, and the Angels still haven't made any moves. What do you guys think about that? It's kind of disappointing to see, but I think we might get a Raisel Iglesias move or something like that. Oh wait, I just got a notification. Phillies are close to acquiring right-handed pitcher Kyle Gibson, so that is what we've been looking for out of Kyle Gibson.
This seems like the trade the Phillies will make, and then Kyle Gibson will just fall apart.
Yeah, just like the Pavetta, right?
Yeah. I don't know. Like, maybe Kyle Gibson discovered himself, but I know that Lance Lynn really took a step forward with Texas,
And he's kept it up with the White Sox.
Yeah. So maybe Kyle Gibson's just a completely different pitcher. I haven't really looked into it that much, but his track record is not good.
Yeah. I got to get to more of these comments. James says, Cubs are definitely starting over. I wonder where Bryant is going. You and me both. What do you think? Where do you think he's going? Because the Mets already got Javi Baez, and that was like the biggest person that we thought.
Yeah, I wonder where the Mets, they need a lot of offense, right?
They do. They need pretty much as they can get. But I'd take him on the Angels. I would. I wouldn't sell our future for him, but I think they should.
Yeah.
All right, fellas, I'm going to pop off for a little bit, and I'll come back on a little bit.
All right, sounds good, Fernando. Thanks for hopping in.
Yeah, definitely.
No problem.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Mets team right now, and so you have Jeff McNeil at second base, and I'm guessing they're probably going to move McNeil to an outfield spot.
Yeah.
And then so they'll put Baez at second, and then you could totally upgrade at third base by putting Bryant there over Villar.
Jonathan VR, okay.
VR, yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. I knew I was going to get a name wrong this time.
Okay, that's. I guess the Mets are still in on Bryant then. I didn't really know. I don't focus on a whole lot of NL teams a lot. The most I know is NL West because they're the closest. Richard Finnegan says on YouTube, Red Sox going to trade for anyone else? Kyle Gibson? No, he's not. They're not going to trade for Kyle Gibson, I don't think.
Yeah.
Considering the Phillies pretty much have a done deal. No confirmation on that yet, but they're close to acquiring Kyle Gibson. So keep that in mind.
I'm getting reports that the Giants are in on Bryant right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, I am reading right now from John Morosi that the Giants are looking to make a move.
Okay. Wow, that's it's just so much coming in right now. We can't really analyze any of these trades. It's just crazy. Mateo says on YouTube, Perry needs to make moves now. Yeah, that's the understatement of the century. What else we got? Todd says, and by the way, they're still the current champs. He's talking about the Washington Nationals. Yes, they are. Dodgers. Mickey Mouse World Series. We all know. I think Badingo would dislike that one, though. Andrew should have today Davies come to the Angels. Lol. Looks like Davies is going into the Kimbrell trade, right?
Yeah.
Is that the one?
No, it's Davies ended up not being part of the Baez trade.
Not being okay.
Yeah.
So
Davies is still available.
Okay. I'm just gonna write down the trade tracker now.
We just got we got 6 things that came in at once.
I know, we have everybody going everywhere, and the trade tracker is going to have to shrink a tiny bit so I can fit all the names in, because this one doesn't even have all the names. So we got what? We had Javi Baez. And he went to the Mets. So if you're watching on YouTube, you know exactly what I'm doing because you can see it in real time. But if you're watching on Instagram, you have no idea. You just hear typing and you see me frantically figuring out what I'm trying to do. Josh Harrison and Yan Gomes to the A's.
Yep. Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy to the Rangers.
Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy.
Yeah.
Really?
Here's the second part of that.
Okay. Ian Kennedy, he's actually not bad.
No. Yeah, he's a He's a guy that's been quietly having like a good career.
He has. What's his stats right now?
This year he has a 2.5 ERA, 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. Just he's been doing good as the closer for Texas. 16 saves.
Good
Solid
stuff.
pickup.
And then Kyle Gibson. The Phillies finally made a move.
The Phillies made a move.
Good news for Phillies fans, really.
Yeah, they really needed that bullpen help. That bullpen is in shambles. Kennedy's really good help there.
Hey,
And,
you used my saying. The bullpen is in shambles.
It's falling apart.
Okay, I gotta write down Ian Kennedy too. Actually, I'll leave it out because we're gonna need more room for trades. The names are getting just so small on the list. I don't know if you're watching on YouTube, Andrew, or anything, but there's just so many. There's just so much there. All right, let's read more comments. Ace says, "Oh wow, the Nats only have Juan Soto left. That's a good player." Yeah, pretty much. The Nats went on a full fire sale. That's a good player or not hurt, right? Because Strasburg's pretty good. He's just got that neck surgery. He's going to be out for the year. Todd says, question about Oakland as well as why do they always seem to be more hungry to make trades to improve minus the money? With the money backing the Angels seem to just stay put. Yeah, the Angels do have a lot more money than the A's.
Yeah, and they like to spend it on guys that are coming right out of their peak at age 32.
Yeah.
And give them max contracts.
Yeah, pretty much. Richard Finnegan asks, who's left on the trade market? Let's see. We got Raisel Iglesias. He's there. I got to cross names out because like 3 of them just left. Raisel Iglesias, like pretty much any Angels name, any pitcher for the Angels. We got Kenta Maeda, Josh Donaldson. They're both there. The Indians are fairly open to making any trade right now. Tigers, they have Matthew Boyd, Gregory Soto. We don't know if they're going to be willing to let them go. Yankees are still shopping Luke Voit. Orioles have Trey Mancini, Paul Fry, Pedro Severino. Blue Jays, they aren't selling anybody. The Rays could do anything. We don't know. Giants, they've shown interest in trading Joey Bart. Rockies, Trevor Story is still on the market, and all of their pitchers, but we don't think their pitchers are going to go yet. Daniel Bard. Diamondbacks have Zach Gallen. What else? They also have David Peralta, Josh Rojas, Ketel Marte. Padres are trying to get rid of Eric Hosmer. Cardinals, possibly Jack Flaherty and Harrison Bader. I mean, that's a big coin flip. We don't know if the Cardinals are looking to sell anybody or not. I would say no, really. You?
Yeah, I mean, I know the sentiment on the Cardinals subreddit is that they were in a rebuild when they got Arenado, and that the understanding was that their contention window is still a year or 2 away. Mm-hmm. So I wonder if getting Arenado really changed that, or if their plan is to still retool and to try to get better for 2023.
Mm-hmm. Also, we have on the Cubs, the last 2 guys that are left are Kyle Hendricks and Chris Bryant. I could definitely see both of them going today. Just a matter of time.
Yeah, we got 50 minutes right now.
Yeah, Mets have J.D. Davis. I know, that's why I'm trying to speed up. Mets have J.D. Davis that they're trying to get rid of. Nationals, they pretty much are already gone. The Nationals have just vanished.
Yep, they
just like that meme, Thanos snap. They got Thanos snapped.
Yeah,
Phillies, we said they probably weren't going to do anything, but they did get Kyle Hendricks. Good on them. They're probably not going to do anything else. Braves, they could sell Charlie Morton, Will Smith, but they're probably not going to now that they picked up Eddie Rosario and what's his name? I'm blanking. Duvall. Adam Duvall. Yeah. And then the Marlins are pretty much set, but they could trade somebody at the last minute. But that's everybody on the docket. Hope you guys got all that. Stick around. We got 50 minutes left. Let's stay strong. Okay.
Things are going to get crazy.
More comments. Okay. We have a bunch of comments coming in. Matt Bedingo says Kyle Gibson and Ian Kennedy going to the Phillies. Yes, we know. Bedingo also says Trevor Williams going to the Mets along with Baez. Okay. Bedingo 3 times in a row. Yay, congrats to the Phillies fans. Angels fans, we're doomed. Yeah, it seems like it's like an ominous cloud just rolling over the Angels organization. Somebody needs to wake Perry up. Is he sleeping?
I know all the Angels fans that are in here just hoping for a trade right now.
I know. Just stick around. There's going to be something. I'm hoping. I know there's going to be something.
Yeah, we'll have a big breaking news banner when it comes.
The second that we do, I will play the MLG horn. Here's a preview. This is what it'll sound like if the Angels make a trade. That'll be it.
Yeah.
Does that sound right?
Yeah, anyone that's coming back right now hoping that meant a trade, that was just a test. That was a test run.
That was a test, guys. Don't get your hopes up yet. I'm trying to read Twitter at the same time. Spencer Howard is going to the Rangers in the deal for Kyle Gibson. Wow. Spencer Howard, top pitching prospect for the Phillies, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy. And I'm reading that they were in on Kimbrell up until the last second, but they balked at the prospects that were being asked for.
Really?
So I mean, they did just get Kyle Gibson and they got Ian Kennedy, a solid closer. So that doesn't seem like a bad pivot.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Kyle Gibson's savant stats, and it looks like it's his performance is sustainable. He's one of the best in baseball at missing bats, at
really?
missing the barrel. Yeah,
that honestly shocks me.
Me too.
All right, we have Mateo. He's on Instagram. He's asking us to talk about Indians trade pieces. What do we got for the Indians? I think I wrote down everybody.
yeah.
They already traded Eddie Rosario, but let's just talk more Angels, Indians. If the Angels were to make a trade with the Indians, who could they get? They could probably get who's their young pitcher, the skinny guy.
Oh man,
what's his name?
Wait,
Trevor McKenzie or Tristan McKenzie. Yeah,
Tristan
him.
McKenzie.
I think that could be a possibility. We've seen the Indians make many deals with pitchers in the past, like Carlos Carrasco, Trevor Bauer in the past. He just didn't re-sign with the Indians. Anybody else come to mind?
Yeah, I was thinking pretty much everyone on that team. I'm going to mess up the name again. There's actually, never mind, because it's on the 60-day L. I was going to say Hendricks of all. But then you also got like Zach Plesac. I mean, the Indians are just great at turning out pitchers.
Yeah.
So
who do they have as their pitching coach? Do you know?
That's a good question.
So you don't know. Got it. Oh, the art of Taylor Blake Ward.
I know.
It's coming in strong today.
All the time.
We could just move on if you don't know. All right, we got a couple more questions from Mateo coming up. He said we could trade for some of the Rockies pitchers like Marquez and Gray. The unfortunate part about that is that earlier this morning, the Rockies did say they have some interest in holding on to those pitchers, which we both said it was kind of head-scratcher move.
Yeah, you're not making the playoffs this year. Gray's a free agent at the end of the year. And I honestly don't even think they're going to offer him the $18 million one-year contract for the compensation pick.
Yeah.
Because I don't think he gets $18 million a year on the free market.
I can't see John Gray or Herman Marquez staying with the Rockies once they hit free agency.
Yeah.
Like, so, why would you want to stay in a bad franchise?
Yeah, and Marquez is one of those guys where if they moved him at his peak value, he's a guy that could have brought back 2 or 3 really good guys for their team. And so the longer they wait on him, I know the thing about Marquez is that he's got 4 more years of contract or 3 more years.
Yeah, he's controllable.
Yeah, so they don't have to move him. That's totally fine. They can wait for what they the type of value that they want to get back for him. But Gray, he's gone at the end of the year, so it's now or never.
Yeah, you gotta make a move, Rockies. You gotta invest in your future. If the Rockies GM is somehow watching this stream, please invest in your future. What are you doing?
Yeah, and the Rockies would be in worse shape than I thought if their GM was an hour before watching our stream.
Yeah. I just got word. Cardinals and Twins supposed to make a move to swap John Gant for J.A. Happ.
That's an interesting move.
A pitcher for a pitcher, right?
Yeah, and Happ is not doing well.
Yeah.
And Gant's not doing too bad, so that's kind of...
We will see.
Yeah.
There's nothing much. There's no meat on the bones of that trade, really. So there's nothing much to break down. I mean, they're both just kind of meh pitchers, right?
Yeah, I mean, Gant's he's a really solid pitcher, actually. Career's 3.70 ERA. This year he's got a 3.4 ERA, 25 games pitched, 14 starts. I mean, he's got a career 3.70 ERA. I wonder why you're going for Happ, who I think he's pushing above 6, right?
Yeah, probably. I don't have the stats pulled up, but it sounds about right.
Yeah, and that can't really be a salary dump. There must be more pieces to that.
There's got to be some underlying stuff that we haven't heard completely yet.
Yeah.
I got a comment from YouTube, Richard Finnegan. He says, Eric Hosmer, can the Red Sox snag him? The contract has 3 years left. Not sure if they want that commitment, but they need a first baseman, though. Personally, I don't think they need him. They just picked up Kyle Schwarber, and I'm pretty sure, can't Schwarber play first base? Or they could probably teach him.
Yeah, right? It's not that hard.
Yeah.
Moneyball.
and, like, the Red Sox just have such a good lineup that I don't think you need anybody. I don't think you need a first baseman. I mean, you say that you do, but I don't know. Is it worth it to get a guy like Eric Hosmer who's struggling to struggle at a position that you're already struggling in? If that makes sense?
Yeah, I mean, I've been following the Padres a long time, and Hosmer has not been a great move for them. It sounds like he's a great clubhouse guy. I don't think the Red Sox would want that contract. If the Padres paid most of his salary, then yeah, probably.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got another one from Facebook. Dustin Odell, he says, Plesac for Iglesias might make sense because Plesac is getting too expensive for Cleveland. That's a little interesting trade thought.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he is currently making right now, but I feel like he's still pretty early in arbitration. He can't be making that much.
Yeah, he's going to shoot way up, and he's probably more controllable. I would think he's got a couple years of control on him, right?
Yeah, he is only in his third year, and yeah, I don't even think he's gone through his first year of arbitration yet. So he's only going to be making a couple $1 million a year.
Wow.
Super controllable.
I like that move. I like that move for the Angels bullpen. All right, we got another one from Mateo. He says, does anybody want Kyle Hendricks? We haven't heard anything on Kyle Hendricks, but with the way the Cubs have been going, I mean, it's anybody's guess, really. Kyle Hendricks could go anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, as a move for the Angels, I think Kyle Hendricks would be a great move.
Yeah. He's gonna give that good 4-5 pitching slot. Not that the Angels really have a set 4-5. He'd probably be their number 2 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is a guy that I'm just looking up his last 6 years. He averages going 15-10 with a 3.1 ERA, 200 innings pitched, 170 strikeouts. He doesn't throw very hard, but I mean, if you're looking at historically, like career stats, the Angels don't have even a single starter that matches up. Not even Ohtani. Really?
Wow. Mapadingo says, how cool would it be if the Angels/Twins made a deal for Iglesias and Maeda? Kenta would reunite with Shohei Ohtani due to their times in Japan. I love that idea. Like, Twins get a closer for half a year. I don't know why the Twins would make that deal in the first place, but I would like to see Kenta Maeda on the Angels.
Yeah, I would only see that as part of a 3-team trade where...
Yeah, if somebody needs a closer.
Yeah, the Twins wanted to package him together with like Buxton or something.
Or like ship off Donaldson or somebody like that in a trade like that. It wouldn't make sense for a direct Angels Twins trade like that. But yeah, I would love to see it. You got something?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Think about Iglesias. I think the Padres would be a big matchup I know that they've been in the bullpen market, and they they still have a stacked farm system. I could see them unloading and getting Iglesias.
Sounds good. Okay, Courtney checks in. She says, "So are the Angels going to do anything? We calling the season a wash?" It's not looking good right now, but I would love to see Trevor Story in an Angels uniform. I know we need pitching, but I just want to have some fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they don't do anything, it's probably the worst thing they could do.
I don't know. It's like, yeah. If you're not going to contend this year, you got to get rid of Iglesias.
Yeah, you got to at least sell off all your rentals. But if you keep your rentals and you don't buy, what the hell are you doing? You can't do anything with that. Sorry, passionate Angels fan coming out there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's kind of nice though, because if we're looking at if the Angels could have one fault, is that they've made a lot of impulsive moves in the past, and they've had issues that have come back to bite them. A lot of the big free agent signings just haven't worked out.
Yeah, it's the Angels' curse. It really is.
Yes, this could be good. Maybe be a little bit more conservative and not making moves. Just seeing what you have, building the roster is a good thing.
Mapadingo was agreeing with Courtney on what she said. James, you can hop on. Yes. I just got a message from him. James will be joining us in a second. Okay. We got James also in the chat saying Barrios to the Blue Jays is a good sneaky move. They gave up a lot to get him, so yeah. It's a good move, though. They needed him this year. I think the Blue Jays could be in the playoffs.
That's a scary team if they make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Especially
Their
if they're
offense is so powerful.
I know. I wonder what their numbers are going to be like next year once they fully move back to Toronto. That's happening. Did it already happen, or is it happening quickly?
It's happening right now, like today,
Yeah.
I think. I think the full deal for the Josh Harrison and Yan Gomes trade just came in. If you want to take a look at that, I'll keep reading comments. Baez to the Mets isn't final yet. I'll just put it up there because I think it's I think it's final now. It's pending medical review, so I'm just going to leave it up there. What else? Mapadingo says Grillmaster would be all on Artie and Perry right now. Yeah, he definitely would. Mateo says A's just got Josh Harrison and Yan Gomes from the Nationals. Wow, I'm way behind. Mapadingo says McKenzie. Yes, we were talking about the Indians earlier. I'm just going to say Loved says, do you think we have a chance to trade with Colorado? I think there is a chance, but it's a slim one. It really is a slim one. Anybody getting a deal done with Colorado right now is going to be for Trevor Story.
Yeah, and he's another guy that's a rental. So the Angels have to decide if they're going in for that playoff spot this year, or if they're building for the future. If they're building for the future, then Marquez.
The Angels fan base is really split right now, and half of them are like, we got to go in for the kill right now, or we gotta prepare for the next couple years, really. Because the Angels can't sell half their guys. They have a lot of good one-year guys that they could sell, like Iglesias or Cobb, but like anybody else, they can't sell. They can't get rid of. They probably can't get rid of Heaney for anything. They can't get rid of like Fletcher, Trout, Ohtani if they want to get a huge haul and really prepare for the future. They have to win with the guys that they have now.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the Angels need bullpen help, and I'm looking at what the returns have been for a lot of these players, and it looks like they could have really stacked up their bullpen during this trade deadline.
Yeah.
And probably had a shutdown bullpen for the rest of the season. You're 6 games out. There's a lot of teams ahead of you, so a lot of things have to go right. You can get extremely hot and still not make it.
Yeah. All right, everybody watching, if you want to put in a trade proposal right now, put them into the comments. We'll get to them. We'll do the thumbs up, thumbs down again. I like doing that because it's very quick and we can get through a lot of them and discuss them. Good stuff. Matt Badingo says Shane Bieber ? What do you think? Angels get Shane Bieber? Is that a possibility?
No.
You don't think so? They're gonna lock onto him.
I don't think the Indians are trading Shane Bieber while he's hurt.
All right. Sounds good.
Usually they wait until before they're hurt, like Mike Clevenger.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to trade damaged goods.
Yeah.
Jack Sportslock says Marquez or Gray from Colorado. I did say it a couple times before, but the Rockies look like they're trying to hold on to those guys. I'd be surprised if I saw any of them moving, but I mean, I did say I'd be surprised if I saw Baez moving, and he's on the move. So
Yeah, he was on the move 5 minutes later.
yeah. Todd says he wants to jump in too.
Nice.
So yeah, we're gonna have a big old party. Okay. Mateo says the only one we won't get from the Indians is Shane Bieber. Perfectly put. Love Department Sacks says, so the Angels aren't doing shit? Yeah, they aren't. They also say Perry is disappointing me. Yeah, I think he'll make a move at the very last second. There's going to be something. Matt Bedingo is agreeing. Hello, Todd.
I love the background.
Nice background. Okay.
You like the background?
Hey, turn off the stream. We get echo if we do that.
Gotcha.
Oh God, that's loud.
That's Radio 101.
Ow, my ears. Turn it down, Todd. Turn it down.
How about now? Is that better?
That's a lot better.
Yeah,
You
a
almost
lot
blew
better.
out my eardrums. Okay, I gotta get
what
through
movie
some
is
more
that from?
comments. What movie is that from, Todd?
That's Ace Ventura, by the
Yeah,
way. That's
yeah,
that's the plunger scene.
All right, we got to trade. Okay, Todd, you know how we do these? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Ready?
Okay.
Richard Rodriguez for Raisel Iglesias.
Richard Rodriguez.
Yep.
Yeah, I like it.
Thumbs up. Sorry, I have to switch to four-person because James is joining us now. James, what do you think? Richard Rodriguez for Raisel Iglesias? Thumbs up, thumbs down? I give thumbs up. You're muted, by the way.
Gotta check him out and see. You know, I was hoping the Angels would do something.
We're still hoping. We're still hoping. It's not done yet.
How much time we got? Like 40 minutes or so?
33 minutes.
33. Okay, I'm 7 off. Yeah, I'm interested, guys, to see what where Story goes, and then also if the Padres will do anything more with Eric Hosmer. I just don't see him going anywhere, and they're stuck with him. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't see him moving anywhere. And James, do you mind turning down your mic a touch? It's a little loud. Let's just keep rolling through some comments because we got a lot. Duffy from KC would have been nice. Yes, it would, Jack. Jack also says Dodgers are ridiculous. I think we have a consensus on yes, they are.
Yeah, that's nothing else to say there.
Period. Love Department Sacks says, what players are on the table? I went through them, but real quick, we have Raisel Iglesias, Kenta Maeda, Josh Donaldson, Trevor Story, Chris Bryant still, Kyle Hendricks, and that's about it. That's all I can realistically see going anywhere right now.
Yeah, it's got to be Chris Bryant's got to be the number one name, right? Still on the
Yeah,
block.
yeah, but there's still a lot of big names like Trevor Story and I like Kyle Hendricks. That would be the one move that I would love to see the Angels make right now. And Richard Rodriguez. Geez, that's a name that we haven't heard all day.
I have 3 quick takeaways I want to say so far from the deadline.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers, as far as them adding so much payroll now, having a $285, almost $300 million payroll, is outright ridiculous and terrible for the game in general. I know earlier Taylor said that it's good for baseball for the Yankees to win, to have a common enemy, but I don't think the Dodgers, I don't even think the Yankees would hit that kind of mark. There has to be something done in the offseason to penalize teams for going over the cap. It's obviously not going to be an NFL type salary cap. I don't think the players union would allow that. They want their players to make as much money as possible, but goddamn, you can't buy the entire league. And
Yeah.
With Bauer doing that, he kind of screwed us twice. He screwed us in the offseason by picking the Dodgers. The Dodgers got a pitcher that they only got out of want because the Padres, they were scared of the Padres, and now they went out and they got this Scherzer deal, and Turner was like a plus because Bauer is gone for the year. So that hurt us there. I think the Washington Nationals, like I brought up in the comment earlier, them selling off reminds me a lot of what the Marlins did a year after they won the World Series, just gut the team.
Yeah.
I think that's bad for baseball, especially Washington being in a big market. I could understand if they were still Montreal. And then third, it's just the inability of our Angels to do absolutely anything. We thought that they were going to be either all in or all out. And at this point, after last night's performance, I thought Perry would be like, hey, we'll take what we can get for this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, and bust some deals.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're sitting here minutes away, and I know it can extend to 1:30 or a little bit beyond.
And that's what we're going to. We're going to 1:30, everybody.
Yeah, but just the fact that we still have not seen or even heard anything is very, very frustrating, because I've been battling fans all year on the post game, telling them, hey, man, put faith in Perry. Let's see what happens on the deadline. You know, I like what he did in the draft. I like what he did in the offseason to try to make this team competitive. I really thought he was going to do something to at least – I mean, we're still within striking distance, as stupid as it sounds, the way this team has played all year, the injuries and everything. We are still right there. It's just
And Todd, I'm totally with you still. I still think that Perry is going to do his job. We just don't know yet, because he's like to keep everything hush-hush. And we just don't see it unfold until the final product is there.
Yeah.
So.
It's just keeping everybody on that same kind of even kill, because it's hard to be patient when we're working on 7 years of this. 7 years of just no aggression in the deadline. We've seen it time in, time out where, Oakland has pieces, but they don't have the money. I mean, there's ways to work deals. Teams that have money are making deals. Teams that don't have money are making deals. What's our excuse? What's been our excuse?
Artie Moreno.
So that's my whole thing.
So
I think.
Go ahead, James.
I think not having a farm system that was top 5, top 10, whatever it was back a couple decades ago, and then not building it last decade, that really did not help things. I think you can't make trades, you can't make offers when you don't have anything that's sellable in the trades. So that's been hurting, and it feels like a waste of time every season. Whenever the deadline comes, you just don't know what you have and what you can give. Now this year, you have a couple of outfielders, you have some pitchers, but you need that for the future, because you don't know, what you're going to get free agency wise or trade wise. I got to say, yesterday too was just an awful day with all the Washington players going to LA, man. It was just
and the Angels
ridiculous.
Getting squashed like bugs.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the same, as Todd mentioned yesterday in the postgame show, we're in the backyard of, the Dodgers. And now the Padres are good. And the whole state of California is good, other from the Angels.
Yeah.
And it just hurts every damn year to have to. Now, I've stopped myself from going to games. Usually, I would have gone yesterday. I would say, hey, let's go just for the love of the game. I said no. I'm good.
You can't do that anymore, can you?
I'm out other from the tailgate, and if there's a special giveaway, I'll be a robot and go to the game, and that's it. But I know we're talking deadline, but it's like nothing's happening.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping the next 10 minutes, like, okay, something will happen where I don't think Story will go to the Angels. Sorry to, crush your dream.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm not expecting it totally.
There's just nothing that says, well, yeah, we want to improve, but we know we're even. We're literally 500. There's nowhere to go but up with what we have.
Yeah.
And they're sellers, but they're slowly being sellers. Now, is there a waiver wire still?
Yeah, I think so. It's like a couple days after, right? Maybe a month after.
I think you start making waiver trades immediately starting tomorrow.
Okay.
Those have always been interesting because you can plug in a Story, you could plug in a Bryant if the trade deadline doesn't bring anything, but we hope it does for entertainment value. in the next 20 minutes or so. But yeah, I always look at the waiver wire to be the most interesting thing because those things lead to division titles and world championships and deep playoff runs. So I'll be interested. I know we're not talking about waiver wire, but I always look at that every season as a point for every team to get better who wants to really be better.
Yeah. I do have to make a few announcements here before we hit the trade deadline. Todd, you're going to give away a hat here in a minute, right?
Yes.
Okay. Do you want to do that after we've hit the deadline, or do you want to do it? I think we should do it like once we hit zeros on the clock. You think you'd be okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Okay, so once the trade deadline clock hits 0, Todd's going to give away a trucker hat. So be here for that. Do buy our merch. It is at redbubble.com. If you go to HalosInTheInfield.com, there's a link to our merch shop. HalosInTheInfield.com is our main hub for everything. You can find all of our socials there. You can find this stream on there. You can find our YouTube videos, all that. You can even donate if you guys like the content and keep us going. So let's get back into it. We got some more comments on Instagram. We are very far behind, so I'm just going to rapid fire through them. Ace says, yes, I saw Kyle Schwarber play first base in the minors. That's what I was thinking. Mateo says, the only reason why I could see Hendricks coming to the Angels is because he has roots with Joe Madden. Joe Madden has expressed some like for his old guys, right? Mm-hmm. Love Department Sack says, Perry better be on his phone. I bet you he is. Fernando says, what are you guys thinking where Rysel lands?
He might just land up right back in our bullpen.
He might.
I don't think he goes anywhere. I think he would have went somewhere. I think what's hurt him lately is not having the backup of a good team. I mean, yeah, he's done some good things, but I still think there's the juries out there for some reason that people don't think he's a legit closer.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I think he brings different arm angles. He's very hard to hit. When he's in that closing spot, he's unhittable. When he comes in a tie ball game, now that's where I'll say he's very predictable. For whatever reason, he doesn't have that same fire. But I'm very shocked to see that Rysel hasn't gone anywhere. And I know you're going to kill me for pronouncing that name, but I really would have thought he would be gone. I thought he would be the first guy to go. I'm very, very disappointed that they haven't DFA'd Bundy or Quintana right now, and I can't understand either. As much as teams need arms, how another team would not take a shot at Heaney as a retread or someone to come off as a fifth starter, emergency starter, a long reliever. So to have these guys in the second half, if we are sellers, I'm very disappointed because I'd want them off the team, like completely, in any way possible, and go with the youth movement. I don't know what you guys think about that, but I would just love to see him say, you know what, if the season's over, F it, let's push the young guys.
Yeah, and me and Andrew were talking about it a little bit earlier. It'll be the biggest failure of the trade deadline if the Angels do nothing, because they either have to sell or buy. They can't stay put. We already know that this team cannot win enough games as is. They have to do something to either get better in the future or get better now.
Yeah, because the way they're going, they're going to finish 82 or 81 and 81.
Yeah,
or 80 and 82, something like that. I much rather them finish at 70 wins or something, knowing that fact that hey, we went back to the drawing board. We're letting our young guys take their lumps, but we're finding out what they got, finding out their personalities, and seeing what they have at the major league level. Let them run the final 60 games.
And they may surprise us.
Yes, and that's the other thing. You could get back into the race with that.
Yeah, they might be better than the current team that's up.
But we don't know because they're not. With them not doing anything, I find it hard to believe that they're going to do a grill master and DFA half the team.
Yeah,
you would have to do it right now. Like it just makes no sense. Like a friend of mine says, hey, the Dodgers get Scherzer and Turner. The Angels get Eaton and Suzuki. I mean, we get the bad part of the Nationals,
Yeah.
Where Eaton's kind of decent, but he can't hit. Let's just be honest. He could play defense, but he can't hit. He's a filler. You got a filler in Juan Lagares there too. There's too many fillers on this spot. Gosselin, same thing. I'd much rather see Marsh stay in center field. right field be Adele, and go from there. And I wish Jeremiah Jackson was ready. I'd like to see him up too, give him a shot.
Yeah.
But it's just frustrating because again, we're going to put ourselves behind the 8 ball when it starts next season because again, we won't know what our young guys can do in the majors if we don't bring them up now.
Well put. Well put. Mapadingo says, Andrew, who would the Angels get in return from the Padres in a trade?
For Iglesias?
I think so. I think that's what he's referring to.
So the Angels, right, always need pitching. So the Padres have like a plethora of guys that could slot in as like a number 4 or 5 starter.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for them being in a playoff race with, I think Iglesias is a shutdown closer. The guy's got 70 strikeouts and 8 walks.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, when you come in with a tie game and you can't do it, that's a sure mark of a closer. Closers never do well in tie games, it feels like.
Yep.
I think you could find, a team like the Padres that could give the Angels, 2 young guys that might not be top of the rotation like futures, but could slot in as average pitchers. I'm looking at the Angels right now, and if you're looking at games that Jose Quintana and Dylan Bundy pitched, you guys are 12 and 12 and 25. And so
that's so laughable. That's bad. That's so bad.
But yeah, then in games where he did pitch, you would be 39-26. So you are a playoff team if you just get 2 average pitchers.
That's insane. Yeah. Wow.
There's 2 things about it, Iglesias that I have. I believe GMs are out there saying, well, I don't want to touch the Angel bullpen no matter who's out there.
True.
I don't think they see Iglesias. They see the others.
They're weighing Iglesias down.
Hey, James is saying guilty by association.
I just don't. I think they're blind with that. And then also with San Diego, they just went out and got Daniel Hudson.
Yes.
And he's a reliever, right? Mm-hmm. So I think they're done with getting relievers. Their focus is on Hosmer, but it's going to be awkward here in San Diego because he's got a couple more years left on his deal. And if he's been pushed aside for Adam Frazier and Kim in the infield, then, that leaves Hosmer on the bench, sitting with all that money. So it's I think they're done. They have Melinson as their closer, which is probably the best free agent move anyone ever did really this offseason. Considering how much money Mark Melinson got, it's the best value move, I think you can say.
Well, they took a gamble because who was their closer before James that they let go to Toronto?
Kirby Yates.
Yeah, Kirby Yates, and then he got hurt, and then he didn't.
He didn't even pitch for Toronto this year, right?
Not yet.
Oh yeah.
Nope.
All right, we got to keep going. So the Max Scherzer and Trey Turner deal is official.
Yay.
Okay. Moving on from that, I'm just gonna leave that as that.
Just trying to put salt in the wound.
Sure.
Yeah. Should we play like hero music for that right there?
Courtney asks, out of curiosity, how will the Lindor and Baez matchup work for the Mets? Is someone getting moved from second base? That's a lot of star power. And yeah, we discussed it, and I think the consensus was Baez moves to second and Lindor stays at short, right?
Yeah.
You have to.
Yeah. Okay, cool. That was quick. Mateo says, if the Angels don't win in the next 2 to 3 years, will Trout demand a trade? I mean, he signed here for life, and I think he was expecting it to get better. So,
I would have to say if the Angels brass has any heart, and they're still taking the same route that they are, and nothing has improved, I would think they would be open to ask him.
And just be like, hey, we haven't done our job. Do you want to leave?
Yeah, we want to get a ransom for you, but we also want to do good by you. And I think that's what they'd owe him.
And we put up that question before. What would the Angels get for Mike Trout?
Oh, jeez.
It's not even fathomable to think.
I think we got take off the Angels fan glasses for 1 second. This is a guy that's making $37 million a year, and he has missed a lot of time not just recently, over the last 5 years, he's missed considerable time every single season.
Mm-hmm.
And he's about to be on the wrong side of 30.
That is true. He's getting up there, and he's getting up there in age. He doesn't know how to turn back time, unfortunately.
When you do say it like that, Andrew, and I took off my glasses, I see your point.
Yeah, I do too. Mateo says Angels get Chris Bryant? ? It's unlikely at this point, but I would like to see it. Have him play right field.
Yeah, I'd have him finish out right field, but again, I mean, look, I think Perry, what affected him last night, I don't think he was BSing. I think he really thought, hey, if we go out there aggressively, we beat Oakland, we're 4 games out. I have to make a move. Now that we're 6.
Timeout. Yankees are taking Andrew Heaney.
Yes! Yes!
Woo! We made a move!
Yeah! Yeah! Oh, yeah, standing ovation.
We made a move! Let's go!
Yeah!
How does everybody feel about that? I don't even care who we get. Andrew Heaney.
I just showed more emotion than Andrew Heaney in his entire career.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Yes!
Harry's not asleep.
He's awake.
He's awake. Oh my God. Well,
hey, play that air horn a few more times, man.
Oh, sorry. I gotta pull that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Everybody's in the comments like, yeah, let's go. All right, we'll let you know more on that as it comes in. We'll just keep reading comments. Dodger fan for life says, I think the Yankees have a much better shot at finishing strong now that they have Gallo and Rizzo and Andrew Heaney.
That might be it for their playoff chances.
Dude, imagine the home runs flying out of that park now.
I know.
Yeah. Oh my God. That's a good point. I'm reading the tweet by Sam Blum. He just tweeted, Angels making some changes. Wonder if this opens up things for a Reed Detmers call-up.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Nice.
It seems like C-Rod and Detmers are going to be the next two, like 5-6, 4-5, whatever you want to call them, and just kind of hope that that they're better than anything we got right now.
I'm loving the comments right now.
Yankees can suck it. Thanks, Tiger Coach. All right. I gotta find my spot. I'm sorry. We got a little excited there for a minute. And you want to know what's funnier is that everybody was talking about Heaney like 10 minutes before.
Yeah.
Love Department Saxy said DFA Heaney sucks. Got your wish. Okay.
Someone said Todd's hot.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
All right.
Throwouts. Gotta read that live on there.
I got my male fans out there.
Okay. Halo Diehard says, I'm in Spain, but the S is silent. Yeah. Well, the pain is a little bit less now.
Yes.
Mateo says, Angels get Kyle Hendricks for Andrew Heaney, Alex Cobb, Canning, and Bundy. I don't think that's happening anymore.
No.
I hope the return is somewhat decent. Who do the Yankees have that the Angels could want? Take a risk on Clint Frazier?
A ball boy?
I would want Jason Dominguez.
That's a good idea. I like that one.
I would totally take that if it was available.
You know what this is? No matter who we get back, it's addition by subtraction. That's
exactly.
What it is.
Yeah, I think so. And watch him pitch lights out there. Wait,
yeah,
no,
right.
Doesn't Heaney have terrible numbers in Yankee Stadium?
Yes, he does.
They talked about that during the broadcast, and I thought it was funny.
Remember, the Yankees said we need pitching. They went out and got 2 power hitters, and they went out and got a pitcher in question.
Yeah, and man, the Yankees, they're all about advanced metrics, and Heaney has always outperformed like his actual stats in the advanced metrics. So you might have gotten more than you were expecting from the Yankees. Would be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't expect like a great return.
I'll put it to you this
They
way.
feel like
Nothing would be better than having Andrew Heaney. I'm sorry, but he's just been so bad. He was good a couple years ago.
They feel like they can fix something that he's doing wrong, and he can thrive there. in a no pressure situation.
in
maybe
New
out of the
York.
bullpen.
Is
That's all
there-
I can think of why we would bring him on.
Because the New York media is much easier on their players than the OC media.
Oh,
That's what I was gonna say.
definitely.
Yeah, is there such thing as a low pressure situation in New York?
And let me just put it to you this way with Heaney. I tried starting him on MLB The Show last year as far as a good start. Because now I just DFA him or get rid of him. But I tried playing with him, and I couldn't get him his ERA under 5.
Really?
And that's a video game.
Ouch. Dustin Odell on Facebook, he says, bring up Packy Naughton, please. I don't know if everybody here has seen it, but we did an interview with Packy Naughton. Todd and Courtney did it.
Yeah.
And it was a great interview. He's a great guy. I'd love to see him up here. Dustin Odell also says, hopefully it's somebody in the Angels bullpen, an Angels secret plan of of beating the Yankees by putting home run Heaney in New York.
Why didn't we send Heaney to the Dodgers?
Dodgers are a smart organization.
I don't.
Yeah, the Yankees. What are they doing? They need pitching, and they just. I don't know.
All right, I'm gonna skip a bunch of comments because I wanna get to more of the reactions of the Heaney trade. Nats fan says that works. Light that baby up. Mathematics says, "Damn Todd, looking good." Heath says, even though we needed to move him, I hate that it's the Yankees. I don't care where he went to. He could have gone to the Dodgers for all I care. It's fine. It's not. Yep. He's not here anymore.
Can't hurt you anymore.
Chris Swanky said he needed the Bronx. Now he's really gonna hear the boos. Yeah, probably. As long as he. I mean, I hope he stays afloat. I don't wish bad on anybody's career like that, but like, oh, it was rough with the Angels. Yep. Chris Swanky said Todd for president. Matty Matattack says Todd Fox and Big Game James. Love Department Sacks says, I don't care if this is the only trade we make, but that was the right one. Badingo says Grillmaster will be happy about that trade.
Oh, yeah.
Matty Matattack says ball boy lol. Tiger Coach says, how about the hot dog vendor better than Heaney?
God.
We
haven't had any vendors at the park this
wait,
year.
We got the full deal. Hold on.
Come on, Jason. Come on.
Come on. Give me a sec. Jesus, where is it? Angels for minor leaguers Junk and Progredo? What is that?
They traded him for junk.
So kidding.
The guy's last name is Junk.
We got some junk back for Heaney.
Yeah, the Angels literally were trading it for junk, and the Yankees actually had a picture.
And Paguero, that's how you say it.
Was that done on purpose?
I don't know, but like, that's funny. Let's see.
Oh my God!
And
play the horn for junk.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we have 7 minutes till the trade deadline, and Chris Bryant is going to San
Junk is
Francisco.
a legitimate prospect.
Oh,
Wow.
Chris Bryant's going to San Francisco.
Good move.
Good move by the Giants there. Also in the Angels news, Reed Detmers was scratched from his start in AAA.
Nice.
So
nice.
that is a good indicator as long as it's not injury.
So I just looked up.
I think he's gonna be starting. Who do they play after Oakland? Is it Minnesota? No, they already played Minnesota. It's I forget who they play after Oakland.
I don't know, but Bryant to San Francisco. What do you guys think?
Great move for the Giants.
I think it was the move they needed.
Yeah, he'll be welcomed with open arms. He'll solidify that outfield, and he's a good leader in the clubhouse. They already have 3, with Busty, Crawford, and Belt. But to add on a power source like Bryant, the defense as well, and they needed that against the Dodgers. It's amazing that the Giants are even still, in first place. I definitely had them, third place or fourth. And, it shows that they're all in this year for sure. To send those 3 vets out who won rings with them. So
yeah,
I'm at least happy for the Giants in that point, not to get overshadowed by the Dodgers too much.
Yeah. Yeah, San Francisco needed it. And I just saw a tweet. Somebody said it was Heaney for Detmers, essentially. And honestly,
No.
yeah.
Jansen Junk, it's a legitimate pitcher. Double A, he has a 1.78 ERA.
Dang.
All start, 65 innings, 68 strikeouts. He's 25. He missed. He didn't play last year, obviously, and then the year before he was injured. So this is like his his comeback year, and he looks like a potential starter in the majors.
Good haul. Good haul. What else we got? We got Ace saying Reed Detmers is being scratched from his start tomorrow. We got Fernando in here. Let me get up the 5-person trade deadline show. There we go.
Hey.
Texas is next. I think that's a perfect start for Detmers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got. We got Blue Jays to acquire Joaquim Soria from the Diamondbacks. That's a nothing burger.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I just got to skip over that because we just got Chris Bryant. That trade. What else? Luis
Wait,
says
did I miss the Chris Bryant trade? Where'd he go?
San Francisco.
Predictable.
Yeah, and Andrew Heaney is traded for Jansen Junk and Paguero. Don't know who Paguero is yet. Luis says about effing time. Bye bye Felicia. So yeah, good stuff. Sorry, I'm reading so many things.
It's not easy, is it?
Yeah, it's not. But like, I'm going at breakneck speed because we got a little bit under 4 minutes left. Heaney jerseys only for the tailgate to celebrate. That's Chris Swanky. That's good. Matt Badingo says, "Oh God, I would really like to see Detmers tomorrow instead of Berea. Wouldn't we all? It's not going to happen." Nats fan says Oakland's got 2 Nats, Harrison and Gomes. Both are batting hot right now. They're on the A's now. That's fine. Everybody's saying Reed Detmers got scratched from the lineup. Tiger Coach says, we traded for junk. Shocker, Lamau. Don Hammond says, Ace, he could probably be on his way up, possibly. That's a very big possibility. Matt Badingo says, Texas Rangers, Todd. I don't know what he's talking about.
Because I was asking.
They play the Rangers next, okay.
Yeah.
And then Louis says, who's our leader in the clubhouse? I could not tell you. Could not tell you. Manio, I hope I'm saying that right. He says, get rid of Bundy and Cobb now. We'll see how that goes, if that even happens.
Yeah, I was about to ask you guys that. How likely do you think it is that Cobb moves now? At this point, we're sellers.
Well, like, I don't even see that Heaney leaving is a sell. It seems like just a plus.
It's a name that is being moved. Yeah. Jeff Passan's reporting like it's a huge trade. So, obviously it's a name. So if we're willing to move names, is Alex Cobb on that list? Because you can get a haul.
I'm not sure.
At least right now from what it looks like, probably.
I'm not sure. Jake Marisnik is now headed to San Diego. Just got that one in.
Is that another infielder or is that a
outfielder?
Pitcher?
He was on the Mets, right?
Because they have 20 infielders at this moment.
The Padres have 20 everything at this moment.
Yeah, the Padres are good. Let's see. Mapadingo says that should be easy games for the Angels now that Gallo is gone. Nothing is easy for the Angels. Let's just say that. Sassy says pitching. That is good. Brewers to acquire John Curtis. That's fine. He's decent. He was on the Rays, I believe. Jack Sportslock says tough being a Cubs fan today. I don't think of it as that. I think you guys are building up to be something pretty good in the future. You did get Nick Madrigal today, which is pretty good. I wasn't expecting that. Let's see. Fletchbacks checks in with David Fletcher, of course. Shots by Gus says, did we get a bag of chips for Heaney? No, we actually got a player, surprisingly.
Got junk.
Yeah. Who's not junk, it looks like.
Fletchback saying...
Their 27th ranked prospect. That's be something.
That's not bad.
Boy, the Yankees are stupid.
They're trying to build up for a team, like for something that's not there. 1 minute. We were hitting the 1 minute mark for the trade deadline. We actually have 34 seconds on the actual timer. Everything's going to be coming in right now. So, yeah. Oh, geez, I messed that up. 26 seconds, 25, 24, 23. Guys, any final thoughts on who could be moving in the last few seconds of this trade deadline?
Alex Cobb is moving for sure. I'm calling that right now. Raisel Iglesias is obviously on the move, and those are the guys that come to mind. If they're really going to sell, then Jose Iglesias is going to.
I think the Brewers make one more under the radar move.
3, 2, 1, and that's the deadline. Trades are done. Let me resize this because this is all messed up. Trades are done for the day. We will be on for the next 30 minutes as the rest of the trades roll in. But Todd, I hear you got a trucker hat to give away.
Yes, I do.
And is it the answer that we agreed on, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll be on the lookout for that in the comments, okay?
All right, so look out for that. The hat is one that I'm wearing. It's not the actual one I'm wearing. It's the same kind, or it's this one right here. Red or black, you choose. Just send in the DMs when you win. First one to comment the right question wins. Okay? So it's basically like this. And it's a kind of a famous player. You guys should get this one. So, what pitcher has pitched for 12 different teams, is currently still pitching out of the league, and is a fan favorite to just about everyone in baseball?
All right.
You can get this one, you get the trucker hat.
Yeah. Keeping a look on our chats here.
I think I know.
He's like,
I ain't
"Can I
gonna
get
believe
that?"
it.
The fact that nobody's guessed yet is pretty incredible.
Yeah.
But there's a 10-second delay. Oh,
And
there it is.
there it is, King J. Ray. Bartolo Colon.
Brutal cologne.
So, King J. Ray, make sure to DM us for your trucker hat. Todd will take care of it from there on out. Let's
This
get
just
back
in,
to
Byron Buxton
Yeah,
has not been traded.
yeah. Byron Buxton is staying, so
Yeah,
that's
no one's
good
going
news.
to touch him because he's injured and he's just not on the field. So it's not worth trading for him and giving him a big contract.
Yeah.
Boy, that was not a hard question, was that?
I mean, we needed to keep it speedy. So
There's like 1,000 colognes already popping up.
let's see. Freddie Galvis is returning to the Phillies in a deal with the Orioles. That's fine. I'm not even going to deal with the trade tracker anymore because there's just too many trades coming in.
Mike was like a half second behind. He said he's first, but he was like a half second.
Yeah, we just do it by the way that pops up on here. So, yeah, King J. Ray.
He was so close, though. So close.
Yeah. Better luck next time. When are you doing next trucker hat giveaway?
Sunday.
Sunday? So
Yeah,
be
Sunday
here
and
for
Monday.
Sunday's post game. That'll be the next trucker hat giveaway. Yeah, but make sure you DM him for him to get your info. So we're just waiting for some more trades to trickle in. Some names that we haven't heard about that should have been on the trade block. Raisel Iglesias, of course. Andrew Heaney, he of course went to the Yankees. Kenta Maeda, Josh Donaldson. Nothing really from the Indians, right? They got rid of a minor bullpen arm, right?
Yeah.
Trevor Story. We didn't hear anything on Trevor Story. And nothing from the Rockies, really. Which is crazy.
They were a team that pretty much like decided they were out of it from the start, and they were the first team to be rumored as far as like, hey, we have an open roster, come pick your players, give us the right deal. And the fact that they only got rid of the reliever, and they've kept the rotation together, it's kind of a head scratcher, really.
Yeah.
And same with Trevor Story. I thought he'd be in pinstripes in Boston, San Diego, something like that, and he's still around. I don't see the need to have him. I mean, I would have took whatever I could get for him at this point.
Yeah. A couple more comments are just trickling in. Tiger Coach says, thanks, guys, for the good stuff today. We're not quite done yet. We're going until 1:30 just to get all the trades that trickle in after the deadline. There's some paperwork that needs to be done. If you were here for when Taylor Blake Ward was on, he explained that very well. Fletchback said Shane Bieber would have been nice. Would have been, yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen. And then BC 2004 is saying Bieber to the Angels. I severely doubt that. But yeah, it's good news for the Angels that Detmers is most likely getting the call up. I think that's the consensus around here, right?
Yeah.
I do want to touch on the Chris Bryant trade a little bit more. Is he going to be playing the outfield, or is he actually going to be in the infield?
I would have to say he'd be in the outfield right now because Longoria is having a bit of a resurgence at third.
Okay.
So I would say he would have to play the outfield right now, and I think that'd be plus for them.
Is Longoria hurt right now?
Not sure.
I thought he was still in the lineup. I'm not sure.
A lot of people are saying, so we did nothing, basically. I wouldn't say that, but, like, you got to realize we're calling up our top prospect because we got rid of a pitcher, and in that, it's like we're getting better by getting rid of somebody. I think that's the way I see it. Fletchfax says, we could win the World Series and Grillmaster would still say DFA everyone.
Yeah, he would.
He's like, just saying. Yeah, but I don't know. We hit the deadline, and it feels like a big relief that they actually did something. Like with a guy like Andrew Heaney, I'm very interested to see how he will do in the Bronx.
You just got to keep the ball low. That's,
Pretty much.
That's the thing. But not walk anymore.
Keep it
and
off
that's
the
pretty
short porch.
tough for Andrew.
Yeah.
I think the Yankees pitching coach, the first thing he'll tell him is, hey, you know the meaning of consistent? Try to be that at times.
Yeah.
Whatever you did over there, don't do it over here. Simple as that.
Pineda and Kenta Maeda are still members of the Twins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I think there's going to be waiver wire deals, and I think a lot of those names will be coming up on that. I really do.
Love Department Sack says, somebody play the goodbye song for Heaney. I'm just going to sing it. Na, 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 na. Na, 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 na. Hey, hey, hey. Goodbye, Andrew Heaney. Nice knowing you. Dustin Odell says, Longoria injured. He's on the IL right now. Thank you for that. I don't know what to do right now. I think we're just waiting at this point. If you guys got any hot takes, put them down in the chat right now. We'll read them off.
Who is Alec Clark?
Alec Clark? I'm not sure.
Says he's on the block. I don't know who Alec Clark is.
Nick Tukulin says future is bright. Love Department Sacks say somebody play the goodbye. Oh, I already read that one. Sorry. I'm not even going to read that. Just going to say noon. They say we need a new pitching coach, hitting coach. Thank you. John Lester going to the Cardinals. Interesting move there by the Nationals. I thought they couldn't get rid of anybody else, but they did.
Jeez, that's 9 players or something like that?
I think the Nationals are the biggest losers of this one, other than the Cubs. I think I saw that earlier on. I think it was Ace. Yeah, Ace says the biggest losers are the Cubs this trade season, but I do think that it's the Nationals. They got rid of everybody.
Yeah.
Like the only guy there is Juan Soto now.
Do you think if Strasburg didn't need that surgery, he could have been a movable piece?
I would think so. Yeah.
Wow.
King J. Ray says we should sign Bartolo Colon. He'll do better than Bundy.
I agree. He won't blow chunks. I know that.
I wouldn't think he would. Yeah.
He keeps his food down, as you could tell.
Trevor Story and John Gray officially still members of the Colorado Rockies.
Damn, that's a shame. Why?
Why
would the Rockies do that?
What a joke.
They have no reason to keep him. They have zero reason to keep him. Now they're going to get nothing for him. They're going to leave in free agency.
Absolutely. Whit Merrifield is still on the Royals. That one's not as big of a surprise. But yeah, that Trevor Story one is definitely a head scratcher.
Sassy says DFA Cishek right now. Todd, question mark?
Yes, I would have did that about 20 games ago, but still past his prime.
Adele Miguel says, Perry, please call up C-Rod and anyone else to replace Cishek and Bundy. I think we all agree, yeah?
Oh, Alex Clark says it was him that's on the trade deadline. I don't know what we can get for him.
Noon says Madden needs to stop thinking C-Shit is our pitching go-to guy. That's a pretty good one. Matt Bedingo says, with Heaney now, Angels fans want them to DFA Bundy, Cishek, and Quintana and bring up the young arms. I like that idea a lot. Dustin Odell says, bye. I think he was referring to the Andrew Heaney song. I think we're going to think that's what that was. Dustin Odell also says from Facebook, would Bud Black maybe be interested in returning to the Angels as pitching coach next season? I really like that idea.
That's a great idea because he can't retain his job after this season.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, or even wanting to stay with Colorado.
Yeah, that's not going anywhere.
And Dritzel says Heaney was the only trade. Geez, yeah, we're still getting some reports in, but I don't know if we're gonna have anything else. We'll see.
Here's something fun to think about. Just imagine clean-faced Andrew Heaney.
Mm-hmm.
You won't have to. You got
Maybe
that,
we could
like,
see
there.
through that facade. No.
Maybe like once he loses the facial hair, he's just gonna get like an automatic like killer left arm.
I'd still say he had the same dumbass look after giving up a home run. That's just me though.
What else we got? King J Ray says trade Adams, Adele, or Marsh. We could end up with 3 Dallas McPhersons for all we know. We don't need all those young outfielders. I mean, J-Up's gonna be gone in a couple years. Trout's not getting any younger, and Marsh is already up. So, I mean, I think we're gonna need those outfielders in the future. I don't know about you guys, but. What do we got? OMG, my season ticket renewal. Yeah, Ace just got their season ticket renewal from the Angels. Don't renew them. Just don't. It's not worth it.
This just in: Dodgers did not make any last-minute moves.
Good.
Okay, good. You know what? Then, even though they got Scherzer and Turner and a couple other pieces, they did not address the elephant in the room, the closer. I think that's the only way they're going to be beat. The back end of that bullpen sucks.
Somebody tweeted, winners of the deadline, Blue Jays, Twins, Rangers, Dodgers, Astros. Losers of the deadline, Rockies. I think that could not be more
throw the
well put.
Twins in there as well.
They didn't get rid of everybody. That's kind of surprising.
Yeah.
They only
'Cause
got rid
I
of
thought,
Barrios.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, that's still a team that, like, if
Trey Mancini is officially still an Oriole.
That's good. He's good for them. I don't think he should have left in the first place. Matt Badingo says clean shaving of Gallo, Heaney, and Rizzo will look really weird to see. That's a dumb rule for the freaking Yankees. I hate it.
That's got to change.
I think Heaney's that dumb that when they tell him he has to be clean shaven, he'll shave everything off his body.
Efficiency.
And Drizzle says, I think we can grade Perry at this point. What do you guys give him? I don't think we can. I think we gotta wait. I think we gotta wait for the rest of the trades to roll in. I don't know. There might be something else, but as it currently sits, C+. C+ for me.
Guys, you know what I think? Maybe Perry's holding on to Cobb, Iglesias, just to re-sign him.
Yeah, that's what I had a thought of.
That's all I can think of, because those are two guys you want, and they're going to be on the cheaper side compared to the other free agents.
Mm-hmm.
And if you already have them here, you can already see how they are and how they're doing. So I can see why they haven't been moved. So I'm not going to fault Perry on that. It's just the DFAs, of Quintana and Bundy. But maybe we'll see that, in the near future, maybe next week or so. Maybe throw them against the A's and see how bad they do, which has happened, but even more. And yeah, so I think they're just going to hold on to him and hopefully get him re-signed as part of the process going forward.
You know what?
Breaking news: Hansel Robles to the Red Sox.
Yeah, our old friend. I was just about to say that too.
Hansel Robles?
Yes.
Wow.
Remember
okay.
how good he was in 2019?
Yeah.
What happened to the guy? They just
I
didn't
don't
use
know.
him. They didn't use him in 2020, didn't they?
No, they used him. He had a 10 ERA.
It's because he was in front of fans. He's way better in front of fans.
Minnesota, I think it was.
He was with Minnesota, and then they sold him off to Red Sox. I don't know what he's going to do in the Red Sox pen, but yeah, interesting. People are weighing in on the Perry Manassian grading. Fletchback says he'd give Perry a C as of right now. Mapadingo says I'd give a Perry a C minus.
I'm the same way. If they make the right, like James said, DFAs down the stretch, because I never thought, especially going into this season, I would be like, bring on Ben Boom. I miss Ben Boom. But to bring on Ben Boom, that would take Suzuki being DFA'd, and I think that's what needs to happen.
Noon says, "Hey, let's get Hector Santiago back." He got suspended for 60 games, I think now, or 80 games because he was using PEDs, right?
And the sticky stuff.
Yeah, the sticky stuff was a separate one. That was a separate one. He got hit twice.
Not a good look.
It sounds like he should be on the Astros with all this cheating going on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Archangel Pins says Dodgers get Scherzer and Turner, and we get rid of Heaney. Hey, I think we came out on the better side there.
There might be more value from getting rid of Heaney from subtraction.
It depends on how Detmers does.
You guys have a 60% winning percentage in games that Heaney, Quintana, and Bundy don't pitch in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can reduce the really ineffective pitchers and at least replace them with average, you're talking like if you can keep that winning percentage into the year, 86, 87 wins, which might be enough to win the second wild card with how many teams are in contention.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a huge difference right there.
Yeah. Sorry.
What do you guys think about that comment right there? Theis being the backup catcher.
Yeah. I think that could be a lot better than Suzuki. I did see him play when I was at the game in Salt Lake. He hit a home run. He hits it very good. It's just he's got to stop swinging and missing. You know.
Yeah.
I do want to try to go back and see another game there. If I can, and if I do, then I will try to get some autographs so we can give them out. That'll be in September.
Jorge Soler traded to the Braves. Sorry to interrupt.
So he did get traded. Okay, yeah. Jorge Soler
Sorry to
was
just
on my
pop
list.
in there.
No, you're fine. Jorge Soler was on my list for the Royals, along with Whit Merrifield. I can't find it for some reason. There it is.
Soler's not having a good year again, right?
He's coming out of it right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
He always strikes out so much and too much to the point where you can't really trust him as a really good, consistent hitter, not a great average hitter.
He's a Joey Gallo type.
Yeah, but the coming off the bench, I think that'll be useful for the Braves.
They should fall out of it though, right? Because no Acuna, and then who's the guy that beat his wife? The other good hitter.
Oh, Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah. We got more comments coming in. Adele Miguel. Oh, that you already read that one. Archangel Pins says we ain't getting no second wild card. Yeah, I'm not too hopeful about that one. Fletchfax says we got to win this series against the A's. We cannot tie. Dude, every series is important at this point. They got to win everything to get that wild card spot, or get a ton of help. King J. Ray says, if somebody would have told you in March the Angels would be 6 games back of the wild card with 60 to play and no Trout or Upton for months, would you have taken it?
And Rendon.
Yeah, and Rendon. Would you have believed it?
No.
I don't think any of us were expecting it, but I think it hurts more that we're at 500 and we just are kind of stagnant. Yeah?
That's the part that hurts because you could see this team winning despite all those flaws and warts.
Mm-hmm.
And and then when they shit the bed, or it seems like, hey, we're turning things around, big bad Oakland comes right back in front of us and puts us back in our place.
And then just curb stomps the Angels.
Exactly. It's either Houston or Oakland have done that time in and time out.
Yeah. Justin Football says we got prospects for Heaney. Yes, we did. We got junk. Yeah, junk.
Mm-hmm.
UFC X6 Halos says agree. I think we got a solid chance tonight with Sandoval on the hill. I do too. The offense has just got to show up.
That's gonna be a hell of a matchup tonight, though.
Who the A's got on the bump?
They got the guy who's shut us down twice.
Caprillion?
No, the guy that was a cast-off that magically was an all-star for them. What's his name?
Bassett?
James
Narrows it down to everyone.
Bassett.
Yeah, Bassett.
Bassett. There you go.
Chris
Yeah.
Bassett.
All right. King J. Ray said, sorry, meant Trout and Rendon. Yeah, we got you. Mapadingo says, I think the Angels got a better return for Heaney than the Dodgers got for Scherzer and Turner. Angels got a junk player with an ERA of over 1.
Yeah.
There's a lot of players with an ERA over 1, just saying. Could have worded that better.
Narrows it down to everyone but like 3 people.
Yeah. Does Jacob deGrom even have an ERA of under
He's
1?
like one,
It's
2.
over 2 now, right?
Oh,
I
okay.
think it's like 1, 2.
Nats fan says Braves player was reinstated and not found guilty. I guess that's Marcell Ozuna that they're talking about.
I haven't heard him returning yet, is he?
That's the only thing.
I'm not
I don't-
sure.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Justin Football says, did you guys hear about Santiago? His season is over. Yes, we talked about that a little bit ago.
Yeah, it's a good thing to mark about Marcell Ozuna, because like, of all the reports and stuff, he had been maintaining his innocence for a long time and said the body cam would show that the police were lying, and then after the body cam footage was released to the district attorneys, they dropped the charges.
Wow.
Okay. Wow.
So it might be that he was smeared for no reason, but we don't know.
Okay, so
I guess the cops weren't Braves fans.
so he's not a bad guy.
I
I know there's still a stain on his character, but like I liked him before, but now I don't know if I can go back to that.
He's like, I slapped her, but I didn't beat her.
Yeah,
we don't know what happened. Something. I mean, I don't want to touch that one. I'll be
yeah,
honest.
I think it's best if we stay away from the Marcell Ozuna talk. Just let him continue his career in peace. We got Tiger Coach says we need to get Rendon a case of Vagisil, and maybe that will work. God, man,
He's been nursing that vagina all season.
Sure, yeah. Tiger Coach, keep him in the field. Yeah, Rendon's been getting hurt too often. Adele Miguel says Nelson Cruz, Vlad Jr., almost every Red Sox teeing off on Heaney is going to be hilarious. They're all going to be to the short porch, too. Watch.
Yep,
Just
yep.
turned into a shutdown pitcher.
He's going to go to the
the guy
closer
you always
role.
thought.
Closer role, become the next Mariano Rivera.
Yeah, just Andrew Miller out there, 2 innings, 6
Yeah.
strikeouts.
Oh, man.
King J. Ray says Bassett. That's the guy we were looking for. Matt Padingo also says Chris Bassett is going up for the A's. Going to be a good matchup to watch with Sandoval on the hill. Justin Football is making fun of the way I say Adele Miguel's name. Yeah, that's just how I read it, man. I don't know if I'm saying it wrong. I'm sorry if I butcher any of your names. It's going to happen. Deal with it. Matt Badingo says, dang, I missed a couple of words there. Sorry for not understanding my last comment. You're good, man.
Did we note the Brewers trade?
Which one?
John Curtis?
Yeah.
Okay,
I said it was a nothing burger because it's just kind of meh. So we got a good 8 minutes till we're
way-
done.
Tony Watson traded the Giants.
Really?
Wait, is that another?
Is that
Ken
true?
Rosenthal source. Ken Rosenthal.
Dang. Okay, Tony Watson, let's go, baby! Woo! I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but like, yeah.
I think that made our bullpen significantly worse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did. I think that's a C-Rod rule now.
Yep.
But yeah, I didn't get a notification for that yet. Let me look. Let me look before I say anything.
Yeah,
I don't wanna
Watson's
overreact.
numbers are basically all from like two games, right? Where he had like one where he allowed 6 runs, and
Yeah.
another 4 runs. Otherwise, he's been shut down, right?
Yeah, he's been very good. His slider on the outside corner against righties and his changeup have been very effective. He's been inducing a lot of ground balls. So and when usually he's the opposite of Cishek. When he comes in there with inherited runners, he has a really good ratio. So I think the Giants, this is a trade of them knowing what they had in the past and seeing what he's done with the Angels and just getting him back.
Yeah. I think he's a really underrated pitcher, and I hope the Angels got someone good back for him.
Yeah.
I agree.
John Morosi's the source.
Yeah. I
he's
just got it
reliable.
from Sam Blum too. So So Tony Watson, he is going to be on the move. He's going back to the Giants, right?
Yep.
So that's an interesting move there. Was he a rental too, or did they have him for 2 years?
1 year.
1 year? Okay, so we're getting rid of some rentals, so that's good. We'll let you guys know if we hear anything else on that trade, who we get in return. I can't imagine it's anybody super, super good, but we will see. We got more comments. Dugout Talk says the Dodgers messed up by letting that catcher go. I don't know which catcher. I think Keibert Ruiz, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Love Department Sacks says Bauer is going to be in an orange jumpsuit soon. I would not be surprised. Manny AHM says, so did we buy or sell? Sold. Oh, wait, hold on. Did we get another thing in? Nope, that's the same thing. Jeff Fletcher says, not over yet, an Angels reliever on the move. So we'll see if the Angels move anybody else.
Is that Watson he's talking about?
Yeah. Geez, there's so many things still coming in. Mapadingo says, dang, we still have Cishek. Why does nobody want him? Kivink? Yeah, Kivink. Says Tony Watson to the Giants. Yes, we got it. Love Department Sacks. Says, who are we getting? We don't know. Ben Hoxie says, who did we get? We don't know yet.
That's going to be popping up here soon.
Yeah. Tony Watson for Joey Bart would be a good trade for each team. What do you think about that? It's never in a million years would the Giants do that.
And maybe Tony Watson for Wander Franco.
But I would love. They were saying there's a guy that said, Joey Bart for Raisel Iglesias. That would be a good trade. I'm like, yeah, I'll take Joey Bart for
all day.
A rental.
Do you know the other reason why I think they got Watson back?
Why?
His career ERA versus Dodgers is under 1.
Yeah, he's a Dodger killer.
Yep.
They need that going into the playoffs. The Giants are going to have to play the Dodgers in the playoffs if they want to win it all.
Absolutely.
There's no question. Even if they both meet up in the second round, I don't think either of them are getting eliminated by anybody else.
You know a scary team that nobody's talking about? They've made minor deals, but the Brewers. I mean, the Brewers.
Yeah.
That's a team that could knock one of these teams off like the Padres or Dodgers.
Their pitching is just so good.
That trade that one you said was a nothing burger.
The John Curtis.
Yeah, he's been elite for the Marlins as a shutdown reliever.
It was a nothing burger compared to everything that was coming in at the time, because that was right as Andrew Heaney and Chris Bryant broke.
Their pitching's good, and you know who turned it around for them since he's gone there is Adames from Tampa.
Willie Adames, yep.
Oh yeah, he's been elite over there.
Yeah.
So
I like the move that they brought in Escobar, the third baseman from Arizona.
Yeah.
Yeah. All in spring training, Todd. Real short dude, but man, he's got some pop in his bat.
Yeah.
And I'm really looking forward to the Brewers making some damage there against, let's say, a wild card team or whatnot, whoever comes out of there.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like a waste that John Lester went to the Cardinals. I just don't. They're hoping the Brewers fall off. They have like a young way of doing things and fall down. I just don't see it. And then with Hanser Robles going to the Red Sox, ever since Ottaviano, said what he said to Ohtani, he's been failing as of late. So I think the Red Sox saw that and said, hey, we need something to, reshare our bullpen, and Robles might be the guy.
Does he still have that intro with the unicorn?
I don't know.
The white horse, yeah. Yeah, he did with Minnesota. I don't know if he'll bring it over. We just got details for the reported Chris Bryant trade. The Cubs are to receive Alexander, how do you say that? Canario? Canario, sure. Canario. And Caleb Killian. So, yeah, Andrew, you're the guy for that. you're the guy to give us the word on those prospects. Still yet to hear anything on the Tony Watson return. We'll let you guys know.
Canario's a toolsy outfielder in single A. 15 stolen bases, 9 home runs. his hit tool hasn't really developed yet. His scouting report says he's really fast, good defender, and they're thinking he could be like a potential 25 home run, 20 stolen base guy in the future.
Raisel Iglesias was not traded by the Angels, according to a source familiar with the situation. Just for
Raisel Iglesias has not been traded. Raisel Iglesias has not been traded is the newest report. He is still in
You
England.
nearly beat me to the punch there, Fernando. Okay, Randy checks in on YouTube. He says, "So can I focus on football now?" I mean, I don't know how much more the Angels are gonna do, but probably.
I give it this. Look, I say you got 4 weeks, before you hit the last game of preseason football where everyone plays. So I would give it till then to see where the Angels are in the standings. But
Richard Rodriguez to Atlanta.
But that's the late come in.
Yeah, what is Atlanta doing?
I think Soler.
Dang.
So my doctor is actually a huge Kansas City Royals fan,
Yeah.
a big stat buff, yeah, and he was going off about just how much the Royal Stadium saps Soler's power.
Oh, really?
Because if you look at like his savant stats and stuff, this is the guy that when he hit those 48 home runs would have hit like 60 any other stadium.
Dang.
And
Yeah.
so maybe going to Atlanta and not having such a huge cavernous stadium might just wake him up.
Yeah, the Braves just rebuilt their entire outfield in the course of a day.
Yep.
That's crazy. Rays to acquire Jordan Luplow from the Indians, I believe. But the Braves are making a big push here, and do with that what you will. But who else is in their division? I forget. They got the Mets in the lead, right?
Yeah, I think the Mets will take the East, no doubt. I don't see the Phillies making it.
The Phillies.
They just seem to have so many
Phillies are the
downfalls.
Angels of the West.
Yeah. I saw the Padres got Jake Marisnick. They needed a backup center fielder with good defense. So he'll probably be replacing Jorge Mateo, if I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see a postseason roster with Mateo and Marinzik, how that will be. Seeing how that goes, because they already got Frazier too, so they have an abundance of riches there. When you talk about outfield and infield with Myers too, they have their choice. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, they have it. They could still go toe to toe with the Dodgers, especially if Blake Snell were to pick it back up.
Yeah, geez. The Padres kind of been overlooked this year, just a little bit because the Giants have done so good this year.
Yeah.
We just got the return in on that Tony Watson trade. Oh, geez. I just saw 30-year-old. Angels are getting 30-year-old Sam Selman from the Giants. He has a 4.06 ERA and 37.2 MLB innings this year at AAA. He has a 4.03 ERA and 22.1 innings pitched.
Well, he's going to fit in well then.
Fun. That does not sound like a great great.
You got it over 3 RA. Come on over.
Selman's a stable inning eater bullpen guy.
Okay.
So it's average production with years of control, and I think I was listening to a Fangraphs podcast of him where he's got one pitch that just is ridiculous, but he can't quite get it down.
Yeah. We got Matt Bedingo. He says it's a good day for the Angels now that they got rid of Heaney and Watson, since both of them have ERAs of over 4, maybe 5. Really looking forward to see young arms like Detmers, Rodriguez, and maybe Naughton.
Yeah, I mean Watson, all of his were consolidated into 2 games. 10 of his 17 runs he allowed were just in 2 games pitched. So that would be 7 runs in the other 31 innings. I mean, I know that runs are runs, and those 2 games that he pitched in, clearly led to losses. But it's not the same as saying like Heaney, who's going out there and allowing 5 and 3 every game.
Yeah. Let's see. We got Randy checking in on YouTube. He says, so does this mean Naughton or Detmers is coming up? Maybe some bullpen arms as well. We already got Detmers. He got scratched from his start at AAA for today. So I would assume he's coming up very soon.
I'd like to see Naughton up, but I don't want to see him in the bullpen. I want to see him get a shot at the rotation, but I just
we don't
know
have
they-
enough rotation spots.
Yeah, I don't
Even
think
though we have a
that'd be-
6-man rotation.
Might have to have a 7, especially with Rodriguez. But here's my question to you guys, real quick: who fills in as that 8th inning guy? Because it looks like Madden has lost all confidence in Myers finally, but he still has confidence in Cishek. And with Watson gone, who bridges the gap now?
Anybody but Cishek in that 8th spot or in the 8th inning role. C-Rod was so good in the bullpen when he was up with the Angels until he got hurt. So if he could bring it back up to form, like, that would be amazing to see. C-Rod could be a closer if he brings himself back to what we saw earlier.
Because otherwise, I mean, maybe you have Iglesias pitch 3 innings now. You have him bridge the gap to himself. 7th inning, 8th inning, and 9th.
Just have him stretched out to be a starter. Why not?
Yeah.
I think you guys are gonna be happy with Sam Selman. He
Really?
might be the 8th inning guy. Just looking at Savant stats.
I'm going to quote you on that one.
Yeah,
when he gives up 3-run bombs every time he comes out, I'm going to quote you.
No, his expected stats are really good. He was top 5% in the league in least hard hit, expected on base percentage per slugging. His expected batting average against this year is 171. For his career, it's 191. People have a really hard time just hitting this guy.
A lot of people. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say he has an 86 mile an hour. It's the average exit velocity off of him for his entire career, and that's 700 batted ball events. So that's pretty reliable. It's a good pickup.
A lot of people are saying Austin Warren for that bullpen spot, right? The guy that just made his debut. He had a good debut.
It could be, and then you also could see Bachman at some point this year, too.
I would like to see him make it be like, what's his name for the White Sox was last year? Guy who throws 102.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, I'm blanking on the name.
I know, yeah.
Left-handed pitcher,
Not
tall
for
guy,
sale.
tall white guy. Jeez.
Surprised James isn't nailing this one. Usually he gets that right away.
We were talking about
Crochet.
Yeah.
Thank you, King J Ray. But we got more people saying. Randy says put C-Rod in the 8th. I agree with you. Dustin Odell says bring up both. Yep. Just bring up all the young pitchers. What could go wrong, right? It can't get any worse. Dustin Odell also says I'd put Suarez back in the bullpen as a multi-inning guy. I think he's been too good as a starter. I know he's had a couple rough outings, but he's gotten through them.
I do like the upside a lot on Suarez. I think he's maybe about a half season to a year behind where Sandoval's at now. Sandoval seems to have found out all his pitches now. He's perfected them. He's hit the corners. He's done all the things that Andrew Heaney never could do. And he's got the right moxie. He shows emotion. He's a good teammate. He works really good with whoever catches him. So I really like Sandoval to be going on in the future. And then Suarez, I think, could be getting there too. I see similar traits with him as well.
All right, sorry, I lost my spot. What are your guys' thoughts on bringing in Detmers? Asks Justin Football.
I like it a lot because Double A is probably like a lot of people say, well, Triple A is a higher level. No, it's not. It's really for hitters. It's smaller ballparks. If you can dominate in Double A, I think that's more impressive. And then if you can in Triple A, that's even more impressive, or not as impressive. But I mean, like you got an opportunity to shut down home run hitters in hitters' ballparks. And I like what Detmers can bring to the table. He's already proven, in the last he shut out a very good Las Vegas team. He's got some really high strikeout counts, both in Double A and now in Triple A. I don't think he's got anything more to prove down there. I think you bring him up now and you see what he got. I mean, I would have loved to have seen him pitch yesterday. You know what I mean? Like it would have been, for me, if you giving me a choice of, hey, let's go with Bundy and the rest of the bullpen against Oakland in a game we absolutely have, I would, even though you say, oh, those guys have pitched Major League Baseball before, I'd be like, you know what, give me the kid. Let's for once try to sting a team like they sting us with rookies and we can't hit them. Let's hit them with our rookie.
Yeah. And Drizzle says, I like that Watson trade. From what Andrew said, the underlying numbers are decent. Matt Dingo says Chris Bryant is hugging his Cubs teammates right now on MLB Network. That's always sad to see sometimes when you have a guy who's like born and raised in that organization and then he finally leaves. King J. Ray says, or we can have Eaton pitch the 8th. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Adele Miguel says Sam Bachman with the Kimbrell stare in the near future.
Oh yeah.
Chime Records 101 says, well, my Angels are sellers, plus Angels would be great pitching staff in the future. There is hope for the Angels pitching staff in the near future. There is. Because they've got young guys, and we drafted 20 of them. 20.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, how? How do you not have a guy that could do the job? Sorry, my battery died. I gotta
If
replace
5
it.
of those 20 hit, it's a win.
Yeah, it is. What else we got here? We got Justin Football saying, I'm hoping to see Detmers next Saturday in Vegas. I don't think that's going to happen, man. I don't think that's going to happen because I think he's going to be with the main roster team.
Yeah, hopefully it's not in Vegas next Saturday because that'd be he really did bad in his short time.
Oh, looks like we lost Fernando. We'll move back to the 4-person.
You know what I think with the Perry getting 20 pitchers from the draft? I think it was established that Artie said, hey, we're not getting free agent pitching at all. We're not spending anything on that. So Perry went out and properly drafted 20 pitchers. And it's just sad if that's the control that Artie has.
Because he's only able to check in on the draft, right?
Yeah,
I just hate that. He probably gets drunk and says, hey, is Alex Rodriguez still available?
It's just bad. It's just bad. The Angels
Rubio
organization is run bad. But what do we got? Sorry, I had to replace a battery and I lost my spot. We got Chris Swanky says Todd was right when he said Perry wants players with emotion. Todd mentioned Heaney right away.
Yeah.
So yeah, no more Heaney. The Angels rotation will be great in the future. Yep. Justin Football says, we already said that. Fletch Fax says no Kyle Hendricks. Yeah, that's sad. Angels Grandma checks in. Watch Heaney be lights out in New York. I don't know why the Angels couldn't get more for Heaney. Yeah, that's
Heaney couldn't get more for Heaney.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you say that name? I'm just gonna say Records 101. Says plus Angels will have Reed Detmers and Hector Yan will be on top of the rotation 4 years to come.
Yan looks like a stud.
He looked terrible in the Futures game, didn't he?
Yeah, he didn't do good there, but it's so far where he's been pitching, he's been lights out.
Matt Padingo says, I don't know about that. We still have Matt Wise as a pitching coach, and we all know where he is or how he is. Yeah, Matt Wise needs to go.
Dick pics could be reinstated. Who knows?
I would hope not. God. Then Tiger Coach says trade Artie.
Yes.
I think we would all like that. Justin Football says, if I don't see Detmers, I'll be happy with seeing Rodriguez, Adele, and Ward. You'll probably just see Adele and Ward. I think Rodriguez is coming up with Detmers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, we're winding down here. We got Randy. He says, well, now we can treat this season for what it is, the summer of Ohtani. Now let's just enjoy the show. And I think that's a perfect way to finish off this show.
Yeah, I think so because I don't see Trout returning. It would have been nice to see a combo of those two, but I don't see it.
Maybe next year.
Yeah, well, thank you, everybody, for tuning in to the Trade Deadline Show. I hope you guys liked it as much as we had a good time putting it on for you. I'm Chase. These are... just introduce yourselves once again.
Bye, guys. I'm Andrew.
Todd Fox, of course.
Yeah.
And James, check out the pregame show coming up on Instagram and wherever else on Halos in the Infield.
Yep, you heard it here. We've done everything we can. Trades are pretty much done. So you all have a wonderful day. Make sure to check out the merch.
Real quick, Chase, Jersey Bingo starts tonight, and on all the shows, Andrew and Chase do a midweek Around the League show, so they will be dropping numbers. I'll be dropping numbers. James does a pre-game show, so your chance to win a free jersey customized from Halos in the Infield page, all of us. To participate in the game, just listen to one of our shows, and the numbers will come out randomly, and that's a better chance and a faster chance for you to get bingo and win a game. So the last chance before the game to participate too, DM us for a bingo card, because once the game starts tonight, everyone who's in is locked in to play the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and make sure to check out our merch. You can find it over at our website, HalosInTheInfield.com. There will be a link to our Redbubble shop there, and there'll be like little displays of all our merch. So I hope you guys had a great time.